Fuck yeah. All right, let's fire off in here. Going live. Thursday, Toys Alive. I don't know why I say that every time. You guys know what day it is. You're all sitting there fucking watching it with us. So howdy ho, everybody. Yo, Thursday. Dude, it's pretty crazy to me sometimes how many of these fuckers are already sitting in there right off the hop, man. Bootleg Toyco was in there right off the hop, man. Hi there. Blood Fake Name, Pocket Salsa. What is going on? A Zymot Co. What is up? Skilled One. Also, I don't think I can ever say Zimit Co. Like I used to always want to say Zimit Co, but now I want to say Zymot. I'm like really, I gotta emphasize on I, Zymot.
Zymot. Yeah.
Uncle Spanker, what up?
Uncle Spank, what is up, everybody? Pocket Salsa. Me and Pocket Salsa had a good conversation today. Some very, very cool stuff coming up with him. Skilled One, what's up, man? Uncle Spank.
Inee.Toys he's already sitting there in the waiting room waiting to get on. And did he tell you about stuff?
So we chatted just a little bit about what he had for the show. And we were talking about that piece that I showed you that I said I was excited to see from, I can't remember the name of that one.
The
but
bonsai looking tree pieces though.
Yes.
Of course he grabbed one of those fucking
Stoners. Yeah. Stoner 2048 or something like that. But yeah, dude, incredible. And it's got tons of on it. I knew that he would probably be snagging one of those. Those are great, dude. I love those little pieces. So excited to see that, man. What's up with you?
Not much. Dude, honestly, I actually feel like with Skilled One's collection, we can go through his collection and probably point out what episodes he ended up hearing about a particular piece.
Yeah, no, I agree.
He's definitely one of the homies I feel like sometimes while we're doing the show, he's running off and snagging up a piece.
Yeah. And I've done it before. You know what I mean? We're on the air or whatever, and we see a piece, and I'm just like, oh, you better grab that because that probably won't be there for very long.
Oh shit, Pocket Salsa. It's like a mogwai. Can't get it wet, dude.
I don't know if I'm having internet problems. Am I looking kind of stuttery at all?
No, you're smooth as a baby's bottom, man.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's just on my end then.
Yeah,
it's saying, yeah. So, all right, I'll quit fucking with it then. I was like, because I'm like, I have like reception, everything's like crisp, right? But I'm still a little clunky on my end. So, anyways.
Yeah, a little while back, Orbit's going on, man. I'm just seeing Skilled One talking. That you guys show me something, and by that fucker. There was at one point we ended up a couple of us just hanging out. This is going back almost 2-3 weeks now. A couple of us were hanging out on a Zoom the one night, and Inee.Toys just comes up, stack like this fucking big, man, just carrying like some kind of fucking like Dr. Seuss shit. Puts it down, starts to like explain to us. There must have been like 10 or 12 boxes there, and like the dude he's so nonchalant about it. Like he'll just open a box. Even when he comes on here, he'll be sitting there, we're chatting, and he's just like, oh, that was cool. Oh, that one's neat too. Puts it down. It's like he just rips right through him, dude. Like just shredding. So I'm curious to see all the goodies he's got there.
That's funny. You said like Dr. Seuss, dude. That's funny. What a good description.
That's what it looks like sometimes. He has all these different boxes that are like various sizes, different colors. They'll be stacked like 10 or 12 high. Dr. Seuss shit, man.
Yeah, dude, it's been a while since he's been on, man. But I think the last couple times he was on, definitely lots of little glow pieces and stuff. Bliss, what's up, man? Brett, what's going on?
His
Dre is in the house. Mr. Ordinary Toys, how are you, sir? So anyways, man, what else is going on? What's let's see. I don't know if you guys have this up there. Probably not, because I think it's a United States thing. It is National Safety Week this week. No? Any takers on Safety Week?
Fuck safety over here, dog. Get her done fast, get her done quick.
Dude, hey, safety third is the motto, right? Like, you know, there's safety third, right? There's deadlines we got to meet. There's production that's got to happen.
You know, oh fuck it. I believe it's a Marines quote, but Death and Strawberry says it to me all the time. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Because the reality is, it's just like in construction and shit, man. You know, it all seems like you need to be going fast. You need to rush that job until everybody's got to fucking spend the entire afternoon lifting 10 pounds of steel off of your fucking crumpled up body. Now we're days behind. Way to fucking go, homie.
Yeah, way to go. But you're right, man. I mean, and I think there's a lot to that as far as like making it a smooth operation. I think anything that uses as, the most minimum amount of movements as possible is probably going to be your fastest way. So to try to just hone in on one technique that's working, I think that's probably the ways to go. Suki.
I'm sure you've seen it in your industry, and like I've seen it here. Like you'll have that one dude who shows up on a site and he'll have like the back brace or something, and like everybody will be ripping on him. But at the end of the day, it's like, guys, he's doing this every fucking day for the last 20, 30 years. Yes, he is using a back brace so he doesn't blow his kidneys out or just fucking hurt himself. Like, just why are you ripping on the dude? Like, your body's gonna be crippled like his in a couple of years too. Just fucking.
It's crazy, man. Like, I legit don't know if I could do it unless I absolutely had to. I mean, taking 12-foot sheets of drywall and lifting them up off a cart over your head.
Hanging drywall sucks. And especially, let's be totally real here for a second. If you show up on one of those jobs and you're the bitch, you're the dude holding the drywall over your head all fucking day while somebody comes over with the power drill. Boom, boom, boom.
Hey.
And then you're grabbing the next one, holding it above your head. Buddy comes over. Boom, boom, boom. Move it more this way. It needs to be more flush, Kate.
Yeah, you just described the journeyman apprentice relationship right there. That's how that works. But yeah, you're right, dude. It's hard. I mean, we do everything though. We do like the metal framing and then the board and then the insulation and all that shit, and anything where you're working over your head for extended hours a day. Brutal, day after day. And it's about to be summertime here, and it's just ugh.
Look at salsa showing the nobody wears a back brace at dispensary crumbs. So if anything, B and I have talked about this before. Admittedly, I come from like a small, like a hick town, like a farm town, basically. So like when you need some quick dough real fast, just cash in hand under the table, or any like, hell man, there's been days I've even been like, fuck, I don't really have to work today, and like it's not that hot out, and this is ad right here for demolition. Like, you take that shit, man. Like, you got the steel toes, you got the gloves, you've got the fucking goggles. Where am I showing up? What time? What are we doing today? You know what I mean? Because it's so fucking easy to put in that day. It sounds crazy, but like show up at a job site 7:30, 8 a.m. You put in that hard ass day. You come home, you sit in the tub, cry with the cold water pouring over your body for a moment. You get dressed, you hop into freelance while you muck some delicious food. Fuck it.
Man, you know what, dude? But there is a lot to be said for that. I know just from what I've seen with the unions out here, dude, like showing up every day and working for 8 hours, you will make it. 100%, you will make it. And if you can do that, you're golden. That's all you got to do.
The reality is anytime you're on those job sites, man, like even if it's your first day, if you're hauling ass, you see is also the supervisors like asking the flop dicks, like, hey, it's 4 o'clock. You feel like going home? Hey, it's 5:30. You guys feel like coming home? Coming over to you each time. You want to stay another couple hours? You good to stay a couple more hours while they're sending everybody else home? And you're like, fuck, man, okay. If I show up and I just haul my ass, I get to stay longer. I get those extra hours. I'm the dude you call tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And like when it's under the table of money, like the only downside is one of these days you're gonna get crushed by a building or some dumbass that's there. And
hey, that we call that workplace risk assessment, right? Aware of your surroundings. Oh man, but that is it is National Safety Week. So I've been speaking at a couple job sites today. I got to do a good one on mental health at a job site to a bunch of people, and that's always good, man. And my approach on that one is always you can yell at and scream at someone in the face and tell them to get help, but unless we really reach out to these people and say, hey, do you need to talk, or how are you today, something like that. I have found that that's a much better approach instead of trying to tell somebody, hey, if you need help, just go get it, because in reality that's not how it works, right? So my message is always when we know that there's somebody that's struggling or having a hard time, or even just a regular everyday person, you reach out and you say, What's up, man? How are you? How are you doing? Do you want to talk? Is there anything I can do for you? Which brings me full circle to your post today. Everybody, thank you for reaching out to Crumbs. And I am reaching out right now and telling you that you, my dude, are an important part of this scene. Everybody in this room loves you. And we're all here for you, man. Good times, bad times, hard times, today times, tomorrow times, yesterday times. We're here for you. We're here for each other. And that's what we do. And that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah,
Strafe said,
very fortunate. We're very, very fortunate, man. And very fortunate for you guys. Very appreciative of all you dudes. Absolutely, man. It's weird, man, this little community. It's very weird. And yeah, everybody has those ups and downs. We were talking about it right before the show, man. I think one of the toughest things sometimes, and I think everybody can kind of relate to this, like so many of us have been just burnt the fuck out for months now. It's not as though there was some kind of like healing potion given out after COVID bullshit. You know what I mean? Like things just kind of they kept rolling, and I think everybody's trying to just kind of be in that same mentality. You know, like it's funny to me when I do see the odd time we've talked about those posts where it'll be like Crumbs and B are doing it because they just love toys and Karen. It's like that's why everybody's here. That's why everybody makes toys. Because they just fucking love it. They just love this scene. There's like nobody here is making a fucking fortune, fucking like rolling in the dough or something. They're all here because they just fucking love doing it, man. Like they're making shit because they all just fucking love doing it. We're all fortunate. This technology shit is wild, man. I don't think we'd be doing a year Zoom to YouTube, fucking live chat, reading, hanging out 3 hours almost every Thursday, 51 weeks.
I know, right? That's crazy, man. But you're right, dude. And it's like I said, it's just something that we do. So anyways, we're moving on. Hey,
Inee.Toys is chilling in that waiting room. You want to pull him in, or you want to make him sit there and watch us dilly daddle and talk about accounts and pull up tabs for a little while first?
Yeah, bring him in, dude. I'm looking at the stuff that we got to look at tonight. Ooh, goodness,
that giveaway
man.
pile, I can't even begin to understand. Sasmac Toy, good to see that you got that name account thing. I know I was bugging you last time. Just in time for Dune Part 2 trailer.
Let me mute this sucker.
There he is.
What's going on, fellas?
This is gonna sound so dirty, but like, dude, I know what your girlfriend's back of her head looks like so well now.
Hi.
Sorry.
Hilarious.
Man, I'm always so jealous how bright and early it looks over there. You've got all that beautiful sunshine just pouring in the window. Oh.
Sunshine. Yeah, there's daylight, but we got a couple more hours, and we're like 3 hours behind you guys.
Three, those good old 3 hours. You get the power time right now, 6:13.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's like midnight for you at this point.
Some days it really feels that way, man. It can really feel that way. I'm not gonna lie. I passed the fuck out for like 40 minutes today, and I definitely had one of those naps where like the entire time you're freaking out, being like, I can't sleep through Toys Day. I can't sleep through Toys Day. Grabbing your phone, checking the time. Yeah.
Man, set an alarm and pass out, dude. Just go for it.
Oh man, alarms. There's no hope, homie. It just does not happen.
So you got the same thing like my girlfriend, where like every 4 minutes it's another alarm, another alarm, another alarm, another alarm. Okay.
Even then, do you know how much it sucks to wake up and your phone literally just says like, you have 5 missed alarms? And you're just like, yeah, fuck you, phone.
You're like, no, I heard them. I didn't miss them. I heard them.
It's intentional. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Dude, you don't think about it because it's such a weird like thing, but narcolepsy is actually a bitch, dude. Like the amount of times I've been somewhere and all of a sudden you're like, you don't even know it. You just open up your eyes, the lights are off, everybody's gone. You're just like, the fuck? And you're trying to like piece together what just happened, but you have no idea. The next day, everybody's like, oh yeah, you fell asleep. We tried waking you up. You weren't getting up, so we just left. And you're just like, well, cool.
Okay. Well, is that better or worse than they just like weekend at Bernie's your ass and you're just along for a ride?
Yeah.
Touche. Yeah, man. Absolutely. That's a good point. Now, you did mention you're gonna have a bit of an impediment this evening. I'm only catching it in small spurts, and the way you just drank your water there was great. What's going on with that? What's up?
I had dental work done, so like the goatee area is like dead to the world right now. Yeah. So
That's
it's like
funny.
a lot of going on.
Yeah.
Well, I super appreciate you coming in here. Like, even though you know you're gonna be gabbing and babbling with us, and meanwhile, just are you on any good drugs at least?
Not legally. No, they didn't give me anything good. Just numb my face and shit.
Also, I didn't even think about that shit. It's the States. Fuck that. Is dental over there kind of the same as your motherfucking shitty ass like full on healthcare shit? Is it just like you get
Everything is
and...
shit, and everything's based on if your job gives you enough good benefits. Yes.
I was just gonna say, bro, that's exactly what it is, man. Like if you're going to the dentist on a regular basis, more than likely you have, health benefits. Not every employer includes dental with their health benefits, though. Sometimes it's just health benefits, and it's only a very, it depends. I shouldn't say it's a very small portion, but sometimes it can range from like, a very small portion of your premium or whatever to 100%. So it just really depends on the company that you work for. But yeah, the dental is, that's a whole other thing, dude. And dude, like dental work, that shit is, I mean, I get my bill and I see what it would have been and then what it is with my insurance.
Yeah.
Dude, it's astronomical with no fucking insurance. Astronomical.
They just do this shit. They're like, blah, 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 you owe us that much. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. And it took like 2 hours, right? And you're like, wow, you guys really just made about $980 an hour. How does that work out? And they're just like, well, we're a dentist. Who else is going to do it? It's like,
yeah.
Like,
you gonna get your teeth or not? Okay, bye.
yeah. You want your teeth or not? Exactly.
See, and Bootleg Toy even just nailed it there as well. Just paid $400 on a tooth extraction. Need $4,000 for a new one, dude.
That's what I'm saying, dude. You know what I mean? That's criminal. That is criminal, dude. Like I know there's a process and everything. There's a dollar amount to everything, but holy shit, dude.
Cheapest option here is a bridge for those two gaps, and it'd be $5,000 because they have to basically put like a metal fucking peg down into your jaw and then put that stupid fucking false tooth on there. Fuck that shit, homie. And then the reality is like until it's affecting your ability to chew or eat food, every insurance is like, oh, it's cosmetic.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah, when your jaw breaks, it's a pre-existing condition. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. So
anyways,
and also you've been making some toys, man. I saw you just had a fresh batch of silly going the other night there. Do you feel like talking about that, showing any of that off at all?
A little bit of that. I did a little chunker here, and then I've been experimenting because I have pieces.
Are you still working on shrinking stuff?
I've got stuff to a point now where it's in the correct proportions that I want. So like, no, but that's not to say that I won't do more.
I will admit I haven't really been seeing you post too many things. I wasn't sure what's been brewing in the old lab.
I've got, let's see. So Wendigo, words are hard, whatever. He sent me some of those awesome Lego pigs and stuff. So I did manage to shrink down the arms for a bunch of the Terminator arms for 3.75. So I have some of that going on, but I haven't finished the other stuff that I want to do with those. So I'm trying to figure out some other stuff that's like I've got some Joe backpacks that I'm shrinking down that got to the right size that'll go with those guys, but nothing really like down 100%. So I switched over to something I kind of wanted to do for a while, is double casting stuff, where of course that won't show up on anything, but it's one of those.
Is that something green inside of a clear cast? Yeah.
Oh.
So 3.75 skulls in, none of this will work if you look at my post, but I took one of the Stadikar tops.
Yeah, I was wondering what you're gonna do with putting that fucking head on that Muckman body thing. That what oil slick something? What is that fucking
Yeah, it was originally the what one is it? It's that
Don't bash your head
7 board slime guy, whatever, right? So I like that slime stuff, but I did extra sculpt on him and then put the head on it. And of course everything is white. Great. Anyways. But I'm able to get it double casted down to the right size, and it's a matter of figuring out how to set it perfectly square in the window, because I want to do floating skulls in body, and then they'll have like spines and stuff too. So it'll be a little floating skull and spine in the middle of slime, and then I'll airbrush the face.
I'll admit, man, like I have no idea how you're gonna pin that fucking skull in there to cast it without leaving anything.
So I figured that out by a bunch of silicone, basically, what is it? Skewers for barbecue, right? And so those will be perfectly straight in resin, and I'll resin that into the bead skull, and that will become the spine. And then resin will bond to resin anyways, and then I'll do paint apps before I resin it, and then it'll be good.
Damn. Holy smokes, dude.
Yeah, because admittedly, all I could think is like, unless the spine's already attached to the head, that was like the only way I could think of, like having it like up there, you know.
Yep.
Like,
then you got to do the whole, is it what, vomiting droids with the like 7 alligator clamps to get it perfectly centered in the thing you do. So like, I have some of that figured out, but I'm gonna, instead of doing like a bunch of alligator clamps, I'm cheating with girls, the really long thin hair clamps with the little alligator teeth on it, so that I can they get better grip than tiny little alligator ones, the clips. They're like cheap as shit.
I think I know what you mean, like the like.
Yeah, when they do the giant dudes, not that like the mouth ones, they have really long thin metal ones, and you can use those thin metal ones that are curved. I'm gonna use those.
There you go.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Like kind of like the ones you'd wear and you pretend that you're the dude from Star Trek.
Yeah, I get my Geordie LaForge on real quick.
Fuck, man.
So yeah.
So I hear you have an army of boxes over there, man. What you got for us? What you got over there?
I burned through those at the non-Toys live night, but I do have some to share. So I had stuff on the way to make stuff, so I opened one already. Sorry, but whatever.
Hey.
I got one of those awesome candy infused the Bavadrock, where he did the resin in the candy head. I got one of those.
Barrio Boba.
Yeah, Barrio Boba.
Sorry.
We'll blame the drugs and the teeth.
Nice.
Oh,
yes. Yes.
So there's one of those. I was also fortunate of one of those people to get one of the 8-bit mic wheel spins from you guys the other day.
Oh, nice, man. Mike, I just like the spirit behind all those, man. That dude is a big-hearted chap. And the headers, I don't know if you read them, but like I love the fact like the Rook one will be like, remember you can go anywhere. It might just take a few moves. The Queen one, I'm pretty sure, says something like, Queens can do anything. Remember you can do anything. It's just like, damn, like all these cool little positive messages on them, man. Jokes. And apparently there's a bunch of famous porn star actresses on one of the headers.
There you go.
That's the porn star one.
That's hilarious. So awesome little chest piece. And I'll actually hide that for him. I know that's you.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Right on.
Thank you for the stickers. Add that to the collection.
Yeah, I think that's the first time I've seen the Toys Alive sticker be on a quick picture that B shared the one time. Because of course we didn't make those. Fucking Zymic Co. went out of their way and fucking bootlegged our shit.
The bootleg stickers.
Dope.
So we got a nice little I like how simple these are, but they're also awesome at the same time.
Well, like they glow in the dark. They're just fun.
Yeah.
They sit on the shelf nicely. They're just like lovely addition pieces. Oh,
Yeah,
that's a sick
dude.
one. I didn't know you ended up with that one.
Yeah.
We never talking about that one. That was a sick one.
Yeah, that is a
awesome.
sick one, dude. I think there was only 2 out of all those bags. I think there was only 2 of those. But those are dope, man. That was a good one. Yeah, there was a bunch of those. Those are cool.
Those weird droid vomit thing or like body ones are definitely
Yeah.
They remind me of a vomiting droids thing, and I have no idea why.
Yeah.
The arms are all like they're super rounded. I don't know what the hell's going on there. Like booby arms.
Yeah, nice.
Got little nubs. And then there's that
Oof.
Oh fuck!
So
Well, now
this
we
is the
know
one
we
that-
open it.
the one you were looking forward to.
Oh,
So where did these come from?
So this came out of Compton, but like the name and everything else is definitely not. So packaging and everything too.
And that came out of Compton.
Yep.
That is interesting.
I'm so
I don't know
curious, man. What the
I don't
fuck?
know if he has a local provider or if he is local, or they are.
It would make sense if they're shipping them and like having them distributed somewhere more like Western.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I mean, and that's just down in LA too, dude. That's probably shit. You probably got that pretty quick.
I was about to say, oh my gosh.
Ooh,
Dude,
that's
when I saw the
way
size of the
bigger than what
box,
I
I was
thought,
like,
dude.
damn, it's gonna be big. But that, yes, exactly. Yeah. I couldn't wait to see how
So-
big it was when I saw the box. Damn, Daniel.
Oh, yes.
So here's 3.75. That'll be a good contrast for you.
As if you're not even afraid of that thing coming out of the foam right now. You're just like,
I know, right? Holy shit. Dude, that is so damn nice.
yo, that's cool as hell, man.
Bro, so that's probably at least double what I thought it was.
It's way
Easily.
bigger than I thought.
I thought
Yeah.
it was like Shopkin size.
Yeah.
I thought it was easily gonna be like a fucking like a Shopkin sized thing or a Tim Elephant sized thing. Like I thought it was gonna be like an inch and a half. Dude, that's cool. Is it all one?
Man,
Is it
good
one
question.
piece?
It looks like it's 2 pieces. It looks like the pink portion of it is separate. So I don't know if you could kind of see that.
Sunken in almost.
So it does. It looks like sunken in. So I don't know if he like 3D prints and then airbrush paints.
Oh,
That's what I'm assuming. But the
see,
whole bottom looks casted. It's all one piece. It's
I
all
thought there was. I would have thought they were 3D printed, molded, and casted.
could be.
Because
Could
even
be.
when you hit, I think that thing's gonna.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'll never come up on camera. I'll have to show you that. The clear is blue. So all the white lower part is actually blue pink and then pink on top. So that's cotton candy up above. And then this is like radioactive blue green.
So are these all one-offs?
From what I've seen on their page, that they have like 3 or 4 different designs of these.
Okay.
But-
Okay.
Every paint and color scheme is one off, but I know you can ask them for like custom ones too.
That thing is cool, man.
So you can go ahead and order like 11 from him and he'll be there in like 4 days. It'll be fine.
Yeah, no shit. Bro, do you mind me asking the price on that?
Shipped, I think it was like 54 total. I'd have to check.
54 ships.
Yeah, it was under $60.
Jeez.
It's awesome though. Yeah, really good stuff.
That is very cool, dude. Holy
If anything,
s-
It's catching a really nice like glow up under just like the like daylight, and also like when you had your phone going on it for a moment, it was doing like a little bit of a color change optic thing there. It was like, oh, okay, shit.
Illuminates from the bottom, maybe. Up, up,
Yeah,
up,
maybe that's
up.
maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah. Did you say that glows or no? Or it's just UV?
It is UV reactive, no glow,
Okay.
which I'm cool with too.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. That's sick.
Yeah, it's just fun.
Yeah. So any other things you guys want to recommend me to buy, I'll just go ahead and do it after the show. That'd be great.
I'm not gonna lie, it's one of those situations where like B and I don't have that piece, so it's like it's actually kind of sick to see somebody get one in person. Like you're able to be kind of like, yeah, no, it's good, guys. Like it's bigger than we all expected. It's dope. Like
there's Crumbs would geek out about like the knobs in like it looks like wooden carved. It's perfectly shrunk down, so like all of the intricacies are there. There's lips and bevels on like it's not gonna fall apart. So like this is awesome.
Yeah. That's dope, man.
And I admittedly like a whole bunch of those, put them in a scene with a bunch of your dudes. Like they're nice like shelf fillers, like that's a nice, beautiful color.
Yes, dude. Yes. Like put them behind some figures in a glass display. That's exactly what I was thinking, dude. So I have just a quick story, man. So I have a friend growing up, one of my best friends, Filipino dude, but he lived, he was a military kid and they lived in Japan for a long time. And his mom had stuff and they had like this front room, right? Those front rooms that like nobody goes in there. Like there's stuff in there, but like nobody goes in there. Like there's a dining set, couch and stuff like that, like never ever been sat on. And like these bookcases that had stuff like that from Japan, just everywhere. And that's the first time I've seen something like that in hand since that, man. And that was probably shit, dude. That was probably 25 years ago.
Same thing. My great grandma was super into the Orient and stuff, so she'd go over and come back with stuff. She had a bunch of these really tiny like curio glass cases with really intricately carved tiny versions of these and these all over the place. So when you guys showed this, I was like, and neon colors. All right, I'm ordering it. So that's pretty easy.
Oh, Crumb, did you just put on there that they're sold out?
So, well, that's what I'm blown away by. So admittedly, if you go over to the Akashiki record fucking store page, it's the Rock Biter, sorry. Pocket's also talking about everybody go buy the Rock Biter so he can get one from Akashiki Records.
We were talking about that
shows
today.
sold out. So you tell him that he's gotta solve that.
Yeah.
Because I think we were looking at that last week even. Or a week before that. Fuck. Yeah, but no, I don't think that they're all sold out on the on those pieces there, the 420 Stoner or whatever.
Stoner dude, yeah.
420 Stoner. Those are dope.
2480 Stoner dude, whatever. I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep butchering their name too. But
the base looks like that. Like you said, dude, that kind of jade. Like that kind of jade. Yeah. Damn, that's clean, dude.
Cherry blossom vibes to it.
Yeah. Dude,
okay, so Pocket's also saying that he'll get more if he can find 2 more people to want them. So I'm assuming that he can order the vinyl, but he's not going to place an order for the pulls if he doesn't have a guaranteed X amount.
I definitely want one of those, dude. For some reason, I'm starting to build up some story pieces, which is cool. Boy, there's a movie that doesn't hold up. Oh shit. God, I tried to watch that not too long ago, and I'm just like, what
talk about buying for nostalgia is what you're doing. That's what you try getting 100%. Through, and you're like, oh, this is rough. But man, I remember being so awesome when I was a kid. Shit.
100%, man. I remember when I was a kid, if you would have asked me like my top 3 movies, that one would have been in the top 3 for years. And now I'm looking at it and like, God, I don't know. This is one of those things, right?
And I'll be honest, about the only times I ever think about Neverending Story are when I think about Atrax dying in the fucking pit of despair and how I can't be Atrax. That's about the only. You have one of those weeks and you're like, yeah, no, don't be Atrax, man. You gotta get out. That's about the only time I think about Neverending Story.
That's what you took from it. Good.
Yeah.
Avoid the
Terrible Toy Works. What's up, man? What's up, Robert Bloom? Nice.
What else you got over there for us? And what else you got? I want to probe.
That's it, baby. I have like not big packs. I know.
We didn't give you much of a heads up, to be fair. Of course.
That's true.
Hey,
that's true.
How much of a pain in the ass is it? Maybe you got a quick little glimpse at your current shelf showcases, because you have been grabbing some dope ass pieces. But if it's gonna be a pain in the ass, don't.
No. Babe, can you flip the light on?
Oh shit.
Easy.
I mean, if we're gonna show this, we're gonna
not easy.
I like how it can't just be showing them. It's like, no, we gotta get the lights off too.
Oh, lights off. It might be a little hard lights off with as bright as it's still here and backwards twisting. Dogs.
That's totally legit.
So
dude, those cases are gorgeous, by the way.
I will take pictures for you later, but I've got like a bunch of Glyos and Heelys, and then some Stuck Lords, and then a bunch of porpoises in here. And then what else do we got? We got yeah, some fun stuff.
Is that a mirrored back? Is that a mirrored back, Ryan?
Yes, they
Okay.
are mirrored back, so you get double glow or you see the back on them.
Yeah. Hell yeah, nice.
But yeah, let me see. Yeah, I can put the lights off and do the.
Still bright as hell. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's still like what, 8 o'clock? No.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
Something
so
like that,
jealous
dude.
it's not bright at 8 o'clock. My goodness.
Well, dude, I'm looking at my window right now. It's still sunny as hell outside, and it's almost 7.
Well, there. I feel like it gets way darker way earlier over here. It's been dark for a while.
Yeah, well, I mean, shit, dude. You know when whatchamacallit, when daylight saving comes around, dude, it starts getting dark at like 4. It's a trip.
So like best I can do for you now, but yeah, they show up a little bit better now. Camera's just flooding them with the UV light though.
Very nice, dude. Now, did you put those lights on yourself, or did it come like that?
No, those are just fairy lights, black
Okay.
light LED strips. And then
Okay.
I took some those 3M clear peel and stick and just inverted it, wrapped it around. And just
Okay.
put some batteries on them.
And then how are those battery operated?
Yep. But like they kick off a lot of glow on these units, so you can just.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, they
So,
charge
like,
nice.
They actually charge well at night. Like they work amazingly well. You'd be impressed.
Oh,
You know what, dude? You almost can't even tell that they're black lights until you see the reflection in one of the other cases, dude, because they're so bright. And I thought they were just regular lights, which would be a good idea too. But black lights on glow like that, dude, clever.
I've been thinking about putting all my glow on one shelf and just doing that same thing, but it feels weird moving all of them onto one shelf, you know, taking them out of their homes. I'm sure you guys get
Yeah.
it. You know.
Oh yeah, it's real tough. Real tough. I guess you're gonna have to reorganize again. Oh dang.
It's not even that. Okay, what I meant by tough is maybe you guys are different in the way that you collect shit. I've joked with some of the other collectors that I'm a platonic collector. For whatever reason, I'm like very like parental about my fucking figures and shit.
Yeah.
And so what feels weird is like there's certain dudes who sit with certain dudes for a reason, whether it be like because of the makers or because like those pieces kind of belong together to help each other out.
Yeah,
To
and
move
especially
all
if your
that-
collection grows. Yeah.
Right. So to have one shelf of all the glow, it almost feels like you're giving up on like the brain stories in exchange for the power glow. But you've got
Okay.
it all over them, so it's like
Yeah, just go all glow and then you don't have to fucking worry about it.
there you go. That's actually the secret. Yeah. What am I thinking? Fuck.
Just one big fucking black light, glow black light, you're fine. BJ will do that and like he'll come out looking like Mr. Manhattan glowing with a blue dingus.
See, I don't know why what's Uncle Spanks there. We gotta get him on one of these nights because one, his collection's actually fucking insane. But two, man, his chill palace is actually dope as hell. Like anytime I would chill, have you chilled with him?
No, I've seen his
Remember a
stuff,
moment.
but like anytime you show even Fletch's, that glow room of craziness background is crazy.
They both have rooms like that. That while they're sitting in there, the whole room is like just UV blurple as they're just sitting there, and you just see all this crazy shit on their shelves glowing up and like radiating from it. And it's like, fuck, man, I don't have that shit. And if anything, like until toys, I'll be honest. Anytime I walked past a window and I look up and see blurple, I'd be like, oh, fellow grower, sup. But now I'm like, toy collector.
Oh, so when you see the blurple, you do the, hey, do you smoke? Smoke what? Response. Got it.
Yeah.
If anything, like Peter and I have tried telling so many dispos here in Toronto, like when they're like, we don't know how to get the foot traffic at night once it gets dark. We're just like blurple fucking lights. Like how is it? How are that brain dead? If you have a blurple light hitting the sidewalk, any stoner who has ever spent any time around plants will be like, blurple? Ah, I bet that's weed. You put some like, you get one of those lights that people do for Christmas time, but instead of being like weird fancy lights, they're just green little pot leaves, and you put that on the sidewalk with a blurple light. Oh, dude.
It's over.
Game to you. Yeah, no other dispo past fucking dark is seeing business but you.
Either that, it's either a grow or it's like mid 90s and you're walking past a teenager's room and there's some blacklight posters going on in there, dude. Remember when blacklight posters were like the shit, dude? You go into Spencer Gifts and flip through 200 different blacklight posters.
Clack, going through them.
Dude,
it's like this. No.
In his fucking room. Sure enough, Uncle Spanks has one of those big old fucking blacklight vintage felt posters in a framed case in his room. And I guarantee you fucking Fletch has a couple of those.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, I've seen a couple of them circulate around, and I'm curious what's gonna happen with them. Fletch's little guy there has the killer bootleg mold for those fucking lava men.
Yeah,
I saw that. Yes,
Howdy
he had
boy.
some nice. Yeah, dude, he had some nice looking ones at they did a fair locally here on, I think, Sunday last weekend. I did not make it, but yes, I saw his post afterwards and I was like, oh shit, dude, they were looking nice too.
Jazz was saying
Fletch is getting in that resin game better and better, man.
Dude, how many printers does Fletch have going right now? 8?
12?
Probably a lot. I know, God, dude, I think last time we talked about that, he was on the verge of getting like either 4 or 6 more. He already had a couple and they were going to get like 4 or 6 more. So who knows, man, maybe he'll pop in here tonight and we'll ask him, but he's got some cool shit coming up though, man. I do know that for a fact. So that's cool.
Jazzboys, I don't know if you're bragging about the blacklight felt vintage posters or if you have a bunch of those tiny little lava men from so now I need to know.
Fletch.
Yeah.
Or the original mold, yeah.
Well, because it's Killer Bootleg's original mold.
Yeah.
Which also I find that kind of hilarious as well. Like, because even I've debated that before. Like I've been given a mold and in your head you're like, is it wrong for me to cast in this? Like,
it's a bootleg of a bootleg of a bootleg. As long as you're not selling it, really, though.
Well, even that becomes tough, right? Like, admittedly, like if you were to make a silicone mold of a figure you really like, that one of the Toy Boys have made, and cast them up for yourself, at what point do you not accidentally show somebody being like, "Yo, I bootlegged fucking porpoises, fucking scuba diver, dinosaur."
Depending on who it is, I think Porpoise would be like, "Fucking yeah, how'd you do it?"
Of course, Baba Drock has a Pegasus poster right behind him in the shot.
That's so awesome, dude. And the Pegasus one too, right? That's sick, dude.
And Zymoco nailed it. Those posters are actually flocked, which is pretty neat.
Yes.
I thought it was, I literally thought it was like velvet or felt when I was a kid. Yeah. I did not know they were flocked, man.
That's dope, man.
You can get the markers and color them, make your own.
Yeah.
Dude, the only one that I have one of those that I still have that I have to find is it's a big ass one of the Outcast logo. I haven't had that up for years, dude. Those are sick, man. I forgot about those things.
Where are you going to put it? Because it's not in the toy room.
And that's exactly why it's rolled up somewhere in the garage, probably with like 20 other ones, man. I just not blacklight posters, but just posters in general.
Have you started like going across your ceiling yet? Like, are you at that point yet?
No. You know what? I could though. I never thought about that. I could though. That'd be kind of scary.
Lab Monkey number 9 has done that in a way where it looks almost like a carnival thing where you'd reach up and just yank something down. If you look up, a bunch of things have been like tied and then just fucking stuck up into the ceiling as well. I think
that's crazy.
Page net somewhere too.
I can hear the wheels turning. Okay, BJ's got a
Yeah.
weekend project going on real quick.
Thinking to myself, how could I do that? I think there's probably a couple different ways that I could make that happen.
You need carded figures going across the ceiling. It's like those little tiny triangles you'd see at a used parking sales place.
Yeah, there you go.
Streamers of them. I like this.
Yeah.
That room's got to be getting full, dude.
I mean,
it's your windows half covered, the whole wall's back covered. Your desk is 1, 2, 8 layers deep.
So basically, I'm looking at a plastic bin that I've been setting things in. Right now, it's 4 layers deep with 3.75s. And it's absolutely shameful that they're not on display. I tried to put as many as I could behind me, but you know what, dude? There's a big change coming to this collection room this summer, so I'm very, very excited about that, and I'll be able to put things back the way they should. You know what got a really funny response the other day, dude? Is I posted just in my stories. I used to have a wall full of starting lineups, and now they're all like in a plastic bin, dude. But it looks really rad as a collage.
Yeah.
And a lot of people commented on that and were like, "Oh, dude, that is dope." So that may be something I'll do again, just because I have so fucking many of those things with a combined value of like $6, right? Those things are not worth
$11.75. Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding, dude.
The cardboard recycling is worth more than the toys.
No kidding. You could go on eBay and probably buy like team sets for probably $20. You know, they're just,
dude.
But they're fun.
I literally have 7 like Rubbermaid containers of fucking Spawn figures that are worth like $1.95.
Shit.
So
Spawn figures.
Those went for a really good price at one point. And by that, I mean, like, you could grab them for like 10, $15. And it was beautiful to be able to see them like in package for that price, man.
Bro, do you remember when they carried those at Blockbuster Video?
No.
Yes, they did, right?
Yeah.
And so a very good friend of mine, which you know, was employed by such establishment. And so needless to say, I mean, there's been some Spawn figures seen. That's all I'm saying.
Jesus. I love it.
God, Spawn figures, dude. Why are they so big? You know what, dude? I went to a that Denio swap meet up in Roseville a few weekends ago, and a lot of people had those, and they were in horrible shape because the bubble was all yellowed up and kind of cracked here and there. But dude, those things, they must have made a shitload of those things, man, because they are everywhere. They really are.
Like, for lack of a better term, they totally ET'd that whole like brand when they made the Atari cartridge. You know, they just made a shitload of them, couldn't get rid of them, so they just buried those fuckers in the desert. Like Spawn figures, like when they came out, were the like most articulated, best sculpted. Can't knock them for that.
Yeah.
But they were fucking everywhere. Still are, man.
Yeah.
They're like, what is it? Glitter. They're like fucking herpes or something. Just can never get rid of them at this point.
Especially any of the demons, any of like the lower level demons or monsters, they appear everywhere, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
With blisters though, because this becomes tough because, you know, when you stumble on a figure that's in the blister, for me personally, what's stoked about being in the package typically is I know all the pieces are going to be there. Otherwise, normally, like, I don't really care about keeping toys in the package. Oddly enough, there's one toy line, that stupid fucking Final Faction line from the Dollar Tree, that I have a bunch of those in other boxes. And the reason for that is I do plan on painting them at one point. But not only that, I was having a shit day, like maybe like a week ago. And I remember like I got talking to somebody about them. They were like, those are $1. I'm like, yes. Suddenly we found ourselves at my kitchen counter. We were playing with them, switching out all the gears, talking about all the accessories and shit. And then I was actually like, yo, check this out. And I started pulling out unopened ones so we could enjoy ripping into them and enjoying opening them. And I even started upset. I was like, dude, like, I knew I had held on to this because I wanted to be able to like enjoy opening it again. I knew I liked this toy so much. I wanted to be able to enjoy opening it again. And in like 5-10 years, when I'm sitting there looking at them one day, I want to be able to open up a box and just go, yeah, I'm going to open one of these up. And same with Star Wars figures. There's times I'm just sitting there, I have a shit day, and I'm like, yeah, fuck it, I want to see what that guy's like. Pull it out and fucking start putting shit in there, put on the shelf. Good day.
Dude, I remember one day, not too long ago, a couple of years ago, I was over at Hert's house and he had a bunch of carded Star Wars figures on the wall. One, they weren't worth anything. And he did the same thing, went fuck it and opened all of them.
Oh,
I think there was a couple that he left. But then that's when like kit bashing started to take off for him and shit like that. Fletcher, dude, I was fucking cracking up because Fletcher comes in and then makes the best comment for a Fletcher entrance. I forgot the show was on.
Just some classics, man. I love Resin Blood. Might have some of my favorite ones yet.
Shit.
His two entrances, the one where he comes in and right away the earplugs drop out, so he comes back in just being like, "Fucking of course." And then this last one where he's sitting there and he's just right away like, "How you doing, man?" He's like, "It's 4:20." And I'm higher than usual. And I couldn't get the show to start.
Buttons aren't working.
Funny, man. That's funny.
I think we brought it up before. Buttons not working. This one time, man, and like this is a little off topic, so I'm so sorry, guys. But my buddy Bobby and I, his car had one of those electric digital fucking speedometers. And we were high as kites. And of course, as we're sitting there, we're poking buttons in his car, just giggling at the lights and shit. We start driving home. And homie is just going so fucking fast. But we're both thinking, wow, I must be really high because it feels like we're going really fucking fast. And he's looking at the speedometer and he even says to me, he's like, "Man, I feel like we're going really fast, but the car says we're going 80. So I've got to trust the car because it's not stoned, I am." Turns out his car was in miles per hour, not kilometers per hour. Because at some point while we were filling with buttons, we had accidentally switched him to miles on his digital speedometer.
Oh, shit.
And we were fucking cruising home, man.
You're doing like 110, like, oh, 80's real smooth.
This feels really fast, but I'm high, that's all. Yeah, going very fast and high. Dope.
No, officer, we were doing 80. Yeah, sure.
That's funny.
Small hick towns. What can you do? Hey, Inee.Toys, man. We have held you up long enough.
And
we're
before
gonna
you
kick
can
you the hell
say,
out of here. No.
Damn. That was a surprise attack right there, man. I thought you were getting ready to say something.
It was a race. I knew he wanted to be the one to exit out of there. Oddly enough, it feels so shameful and awkward to like have to remove people. And then this little thing comes up that says so and so has been removed from the chat. And I'm like, oh damn.
Yeah, right.
But at the same time, when you guys beat me, I'm also like, oh yo, what the fuck? You don't get to leave before me. Fuck that.
I wanted to circle back on something that that Ryan said, and then Terrible Toyworks made a comment. So he was talking about the Atari's games that got thrown in the landfill, right? By the way, that's a great fucking documentary. I don't know if you've seen that one or not about Atari. But
what game was it? Was it E.T.?
It was E.T. Yes. And Terrible Toyworks said, well, that was a terrible game. I 100% agree. I still, to this day, do not know what the fuck that was, dude. I remember playing that and just kind of just pressing buttons, not knowing what anything did. It just made no sense to me at all. So when I heard that they threw those in a landfill, I'm just like, that's great. That's right where those things belong, man, because that was, I know that they said that it's considered the worst game of all time, and I haven't played every game, but I wouldn't doubt that it's got to be up there, man. What a piece of trash that was. Yeah. Yes, he says it's literally garbage. It literally is garbage.
There's games to this day that I've played on emulators and stuff, and I pull them up, and I'm actually just like, I don't know how to play this. The hell are you supposed to do here? The Ghostbusters for NES? The fuck is that? You're supposed to apparently go around, and every time that you catch one of the ghosts go into a house, now you can access that house, and you go in there, and you're supposed to like do some shit in that house that then leads to another thing when you're outside of another like city, and you have to try and like tie in your laser beam with the guy to get him in. It's like 4 games thrown into one. It's terrible, man. The TOYZ Alive dungeon.
Yeah, there you go. That's funny, man.
Video games. Yo, and Peter brings up all the time. Like, can you imagine back in like the day? Because he always talks about like the highlight of like the Atari, and he's like, man, those guys were just probably so doped up on cocaine, knowing that like they're like 10 people in the world that can do what they're doing, and they're just building video games, just getting high as shit, just being like, he's going to like a wizard, go through a cave, and he'll like You know, and just programming this shit. Like,
dude, that was my first system, dude. Atari 2600. That was the very first one, dude. And I specifically remember giving away that system and all my games and controllers to a basketball coach that I had one year. I was like a teenager. I was really not into it. That stuff wasn't cool anymore. It wasn't vintage yet. So nobody wanted it. And I remember just giving him a box and he was just like, oh, dude, this is dope. And actually, he probably said it was fresh. And I regret the shit out of that, honestly. But yeah, some horrible games. There were some funny ones in there. There were some cool ones. Look at, E.T. falling in a hole, making your neck go up to float, falling back in the hole when you're near the top, repeat. That is that game. That is 100% that game. But then some, like, I remember this. I remember, like, things would pop up, right? Like a flower or something like that. You go and get it, and nothing happens. You're like, what was that? I don't know.
oh, dude. Yeah, Angry Video Game Nerds got some great fucking video games, dude. Or shows. If you guys haven't seen it, he's got some fucking amazing commentaries on old school games and shit. He's great to watch.
That's funny.
Oh, shit.
Mr. Ordinary, they said he beat that game. Holy
Yeah,
crap.
and the fact that he even knows the object of the game is to build ET's phone home device. See, and actually, some of you guys would be in this age, so I'm so sorry, but there's been times like in my high school, even like where I'd go back and I'd play something like Shining Force, right? And the reality is here I am, like 16 years old, playing Shining Force, knowing that damn well, like, there would have been adults at the time that Shining Force would have first come out, playing that game like with the same intensity or ferocity that people play like video games today. Like just the same passion that dudes go home and play like fucking Call of Duty or Modern Warfare. There were guys back in the day that were like, I'm going after work, I'm going home and I'm fucking playing Echo the Dolphin and I ain't fucking leaving until that dolphin finds its family, dog. Like,
Echo the Dolphin. Wow.
That's my night. Oracle of Time is gonna be my bitch. You know, like,
Wow, dude.
and it's weird for me to try and picture like a time when video games were still like they were just kind of coming out. They were just kind of like creating dope ass storylines. So like, hell,
Yeah.
I've talked to Vomiting Droids before that some of the first video games he played were those like type in ones, like Oregon's Trail almost, where you're basically kind of like go to window. He goes to window. He sees a duck. Shoot at duck. Like,
Dude, Oregon Trail, man. That one, and even before then, or right around that same time, dude, that was, I think, my first experience with like computer games. I lived in Half Moon Bay, so that had to be second, third, fourth grade, dude. So somewhere around then, third, fourth grade, which for me was probably mid 80s, mid to late 80s. And it was all floppy disk. And there was a game, I know some people in the room played this one, dude, Montezuma's Revenge. That was like kind of an adventure game where you had to walk through stuff, and it was very just so basic, dude. But then Oregon Trail was another one, dude. That was another great game. That, and then there was a math game called Number Crunchers, dude, where it was like these frogs, and I can't remember, like, maybe if you got the equation right, it ate them. But yeah, dude, Number Crunchers, dude, that was always a big day. Going to the fucking computer room, yeah, throw on my floppy disk. Hey, yow, got a stack of games like this tall.
dude,
Looks like a bunch of American cheese.
see, that's where I feel bad. Like here you are being like, I used to play on floppy disks, and I'm sitting there being like, guys, these people used to build this shit on floppy disks.
Yeah, floppy disks, dude. Have you seen those videos? I think these ones are really funny, dude, when they give kids that are, teenagers now, they'll give them like a floppy disk and they're like, what is that? And they're just looking at it and they're like, I have no clue. Or they gave them a rotary phone and they're telling them to make a phone call and they're just like, what the fuck is this, dude?
Can you like, because okay, but like exponential growth, right? Like that's the reality. Like it even blows my mind. Anybody in the room who's interested, you should watch this movie called The Singularity with I think it's Ian Kurzweil. But like he basically has made his fortune by being like a predictor of what will sell. And what he'll often do is he'll basically come up with an idea, realizes that idea can't be made yet because the technology doesn't exist to make it. And so he'll actually design and patent all the technology needed along the way to devise that final thing he's made in his brain. And like he even talks about it, right? The way technology has exponentially grown in the last couple of years, it went from in my lifetime, computers taking up entire rooms to them, and then thinking like, oh, dude, like in the future, computers are going to be 10 times as big. And meanwhile,
Yeah.
computers have only gotten smaller and smaller and smaller and exponentially quick, right? Like as time is going on, we're using the new technology to allow us to actually build upon better and faster technology. And so suddenly things are becoming obsolete by the time they're even ending up in your hands because there's better technology there that's even smaller, better cameras, better audio, better memory capacity, better connection to the internet, right? Like all
Yeah.
these things, and it's getting smaller and smaller. And so if you actually think about like how fast technology has advanced in the last like 40 years, it's almost similar to how rapidly technology advanced over like 120 years,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
It's like it's just so much more rapid. And like
Yeah.
to the point that in our lifetime, we have seen computers, well, in your lifetime especially, sorry, like computers be invented, and now at a point where people are thinking about putting them in their goddamn bloodstream to fight things like pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
Like what? Little nanotech bots that are just gonna fucking float around and just shoot bad shit? What? Some
Yeah.
Miss Frizzle shit, dog.
Miss Yeah, dude. I mean, it's a trip, dude. And not to get too much further off topic, but God, dude, I've been watching a lot of stuff recently, dude, about just, different theories about how many different like periods of existence have been on Earth. Like they're saying they at least as far as they can go back, they've counted at least 8 cataclysmic events that have probably wiped out the entire Earth. So like what were those things before that happened? And I think a lot of them were even more advanced than what we're doing today, which is crazy to think about. But then you start seeing other stuff and how it's built and other stuff, and you're like, obviously there's something going on that we can't explain, except for that it was something that was truly, truly advanced. So, anyways, dude, I'm fascinated by that shit. It blows my mind. It's really, really trippy to think about. Anyways, toys.
All toys, all the time, man.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we've got the Troy live chat over here talking about fucking Two Hound 96, fucking Period of Doom is Keen's son. Nim dropping Nighttime Brag. Cousin is the one who coded the shopping cart for the internet. He's also the lead designer for the Borderlands video game. We used to make games back in the 80s. Dude, yeah. Fucking I've said it before as well. Like it's pretty insane when you actually look at some of the portfolios or past work CVs of dudes in our scene. There are some people who have been doing various shit for a long ass time. Like hell, man, look at Junkfed dropping that knowledge on us that he was one of like 2 people in the States at one point who knew how to use those holographic machines to make holographic stickers.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? When we look at Porpoise and how he used to spin pottery, and that came up like one of the first times that we were talking about how he has like a really good knowledge of molding and casting and shit and like an understanding. Like it's trippy when you start learning what some of these dudes do outside or previous to this. What's his name? Simeon Cheese. Same thing, man. Pottery for like 20, 25 years, slinging pottery before getting into toys. It's just like,
dude, and going back to Porpoise, I mean, and not only that, but I mean, the dude's a writer. He wrote a book for the historical society in his town.
oh shit.
Yeah.
Was that on a Toys Tap recently?
No, that was just came up in conversation with him and I a long time ago. Because I love to write. I don't do enough of it. But he started telling me about his kind of background. He did some writing, and dude, it's just when you hear that stuff, you're like, fuck, man, there's some fascinating people out there that are doing way more than what we see. Like this is a side hobby almost, right? For most people. And there's all these, yeah, dude, no kidding, right? There's all these people that do like these incredible things, and it's like you don't know sometimes, dude. That's why I always like to ask our guests, like, what do you do in your regular life, man? That's always interesting to me. And it's really all over the place, isn't it, man? It's like there's all,
and people are so bizarre about it sometimes too. Like they'll almost kind of be like, oh yeah, like I just do this thing, and they're sitting there being like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Like that's dope as shit. Like that lines up with stuff. Like,
Yeah. Jazzwiz says DNS's dad writes novels and DNS did the cover art. Yeah, well, we actually did an open of his dad's books
right?
at one point and showed his art. Mecha Ducky says, "Look what Crumbs does." So I'm just gonna take a fucking minute to brag about you. Yes, there's this dispensary stuff and there's some of the other construction stuff, but then there's this other part to where I've seen your work and it is incredible work, dude, as far as like marketing and logos and how stuff needs to look. It looks professional, bro. I'm telling you, that one brochure that you sent me was a package that you had set up for somebody. If I would have just got that in the mail or someone would have sent it like, here's what I can do, I would have thought that came from an established firm that does that like full-time for a living. It was that good, dude. That's no bullshit. And it's just another thing, dude, where it's like there's all this creative work. Your music, I mean, it's crazy, dude. Like what you see is just it's really just one facet to what everybody is. And Mecha Ducky, thank you for bringing that up, dude. That's a lot of shit, man. You're right. Crumbs does a lot of shit.
Very nice individuals today. God damn, man.
Robert Bloom is an aspiring porn star.
There you go.
You know, feather in your cap, man. I mean, a lot of people don't have the balls to do that.
I'm just gonna put it out there, man. You go into a chick's room and she just so happens to have one of those ring lights anywhere close to the bed, you know what's up. You know what's happening.
Yeah. 100%.
100%.
But anyways, man, yeah, and that's just another really cool thing about this community, right? Is that we have people. I think it's cool, dude, when you can reach out to people about other stuff in this community besides toys, right? Like, hey, man, I know you do this, and I wanted to ask you about it because I know I've heard that you have experience in this or know that you work in this field. I think that is really cool and shows, you know, just kind of underscores kind of what this whole thing is. Yes, it is toys that probably brought us all together, but then you kind of get to know people and ask them different things, and you know, and who do you ask questions like that? Did you ask your friends questions like that? You know, and that's what it is, and that's fucking sweet.
You know, we don't really talk about it too much, but again, like so for us, like COVID, work didn't stop during COVID. We kept having work, obviously. Like I was working from home, you were actually doing health and safety and shit. Like construction on the shop, buildings need to be built. Life kind of kept on going on. But for a lot of the artists, they were able to find time to start making toys because COVID had kind of position where they had a lot of free time. We did naturally see a lot of makers have to really make that mental jump and like that decision at some point where they're kind of like, shit, like real life's coming back. I can't just be focusing on toys all the time. I've got to kind of go back into the swing of reality and that flow of life. And like we see it all the time where unfortunately, like, and I'm sure you've seen this, you go to pull up an account you haven't thought about in a little bit, and you see the last time they posted was maybe a year ago, maybe 8 months ago. It's nice that the page still exists because you're hopeful when you send out that message that like they're around, they're still active in some way. But it's tough not to kind of see that and be like, oh shit, dude, like I get it. Like, caught up. Like you like, and it's tough even more like when you see like a following that was growing there, or you see just like all the amount of work. Like I'll admit, right before our show here today, I was looking at neon strikers, man. Do you remember those things?
Yeah.
Those things were fucking cool, man. And like, unfortunately, for anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about here, but this is exactly what I mean. This is a prime example where it almost kind of hurts how after COVID, last post we have here was March 18th. And prior to that, there's one from December 31st. And like, dope ass work, man. Dope ass work that like, will we see more of it? Or was this kind of the pinnacle? Should we have been grateful for what we were getting at the time? And if you got on board, dope. But otherwise, like that ship has sailed. Like, I don't know.
Now he's from Atlanta. I wonder if Spank knows him. Isn't Spank from Atlanta?
Spank is an Atlanta boy. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like these
God, that was dope.
Looking cool. Yeah. Like these were starting to look really fucking cool, man.
Those are awesome, dude.
That's what I mean. Like, he was, oh shit, yeah. Like, and it's actually kind of just like, damn, when you see like accounts like this just disappear. They're not disappear, but like not be as active, you know?
Yeah.
And there was like a whole world building here. Like anybody who's grabbed one of these, comes with like a card,
Yeah,
stickers,
those are sick, man.
backers.
And the thing is, dude, is I think, just what you said about a lot of these artists coming on during COVID. I think the reality for a lot of people is that when COVID was over, people started going back to work. A lot of people went back to work. Not working at home anymore is a big thing for a lot of. There's a lot of people that I know personally that have really developed a lifestyle for not working at home, dude. I mean, when you don't work at home for 24 months straight, I mean, you don't work at the office and you're working at home from 24 months straight. I think a couple things are happening, dude. You're kind of developing a habit, of course, of working at home. So you're getting more comfortable with it. But then on the flip side, employers are seeing that, hey, if we're getting the same amount of work done and people are working from home, why am I paying this astronomical rent in San Francisco for a building full of people that are getting the same, if not more work done at home? I'm not paying for bridge toll. I'm not paying for gas. It becomes almost a benefit to the employer, which, and then to even take it a step further, and that really affects the construction market in San Francisco, man. I'm at a point right now where we have two very, very small jobs in San Francisco, and they are, I mean, very small for us. Under a couple $1 million a piece, which is very, very small. We're talking about a floor or two on some of these buildings, and there's nothing else out there right now. There's nothing on the horizon. There's no bids out there. There is a lot of work in other areas, but as far as San Francisco goes, that's, I think, a prime example of employers saying, hey, I'm not going to rent this building out or this floor for $30,000 a month anymore. I'm not going to do it. You guys can work from home. We at work did the same thing. Our estimators, they started working from home. They kill it all the time. And they come in one day a week. They come in on Wednesdays for a meeting. And besides that, everybody's working at home, which has allowed us to hire people in other parts of the country that work for us. We got a guy in South Carolina, a guy from Atlanta, and, we're based in the Bay Area. So, yeah, and let's talk about this real quick, because I don't want to get way too far off topic, but I heard something recently, and somebody was kind of talking shit or kind of talking down about COVID artists that came around during that time. And I think when you say, oh, well, they're a COVID artist, I don't really like to refer to that as that time period. Like, yes, that's probably the most descriptive time period, because that's what people know that time period from, right? Like if you say COVID, you're automatically thinking 2020, 21, 22, something like that. To me, it's really, what do you want to say, like a rebirth? I don't know if it really needed a rebirth, because I wasn't around before that.
I've heard the word a renaissance or enlightenment movement quite often.
A movement.
And
yeah,
because anytime in history that we've seen an influx of people being able to get into a populated city or a city center, that's always where you see an influx of art, technology, science, education, right? Like every time you see a boom in that, because suddenly, like when there's more intelligent people getting together, there's that exponential growth of ideas. There's that exponential sharing of knowledge. And I'm also gonna go right out and say it, man. If anybody's gonna talk about like what wave is actually big, fuck wave one, man. You guys made it so hard for each other. Fucking putting tape up on your gosh darn fucking silicone bottles and resin bottles, so when you were filming anything or doing documentaries, the other homies wouldn't know what supplies you were using, because heaven forbid if any of the guys find out what resin you're using. Heaven forbid if anybody figured out how you're dry brushing, hiding that you're using fucking Citadel paints, hiding that you're using fucking, like, get out of here, man. That shit was silly. That shit was silly, dude. And if anything, it actually like stunted the growth of the scene for a while. And like, it's lovely when you have somebody like Junkfed come in and say, like, it seems like there's more love in the scene right now. And you know that cat's been in here for over a decade. And you know that then he's been around here when dudes like Dollar Slice were coming in trying to put people in their place and stuff. And it's kind of like, yeah, wait, no, that's ridiculous. It's silly. Nobody owns magnets. Nobody owns fucking certain resins or silicones. Like everything gets better. Everything moves faster when we actually share this information. And if you want to like talk about the COVID artists, like we've even talked about it before, man. Wave 4, wave 5. I don't think there's anything wrong with discussing it in waves. And there are times I'm absolutely wrong and even assigning people to waves. I know One Trick Pony often gets lumped into wave 4, or as a COVID artist, he started the exact same year as Dollar Slice. People go about their art in totally different ways. But that doesn't necessarily mean that somebody who decided to start showcasing it a little bit more or selling it on Instagram, something they only started making during
Yeah.
COVID. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous, man. And again, like, so many of these dudes have been doing it in other forms. Go around this scene, ask how many people either went to art school and dropped out, or at least went to art school and graduated, or have done some sort of artistic background outside of toy making. I promise you it's like 80%. So it's just like,
Yeah.
what's the flex there? You know?
Agreed, man. Robert Bloom, just getting back to the construction thing, he said that his brother said that you can tell how well a society is doing by counting cranes on rooftops. 100%. There's a lot of truth to that, man. There's a lot of cranes out in Sacramento right now, and that's always a good sign. But you're right, dude. It's oh man, it's just.
And Street Fight SPDX even said, all the top makers will show you tricks. That's exactly it, man. 90% of the people you ask them, how'd you learn how to do that? How'd you figure that out? They'll be like, oh, so-and-so. Oh, so-and-so. It's like, well, and okay, so you know what? I'm going to touch on that for a quick moment, what Porpoise just said there. Somebody was number one top of the scene, only because, and I sincerely mean this to everybody, please understand your value and your worth. I always want to see people get the opportunities to collaborate with other artists, especially bigger artists. But please always understand your value and your worth, because there are definitely times that unfortunately anybody can definitely start feeling like maybe they're obsolete or they're irrelevant, especially when there's some incredibly impressive makers coming out. That's anybody, right? I would just say that if somebody goes to offer you an opportunity to do a collaboration with them and you originally get very like, well, starstruck by the individual because of how long they've been in the scene, also understand that they're reaching out to you for a reason. They would like to collaborate with you because they also think you're a great maker and that you have like a potential to be an opportunity for them to work with. So it should never be like a weird, like, you're kit bashing the piece or sculpting the piece. You're then going to mold and cast the piece. You're then going to pay for the shipping to get the piece in those person's hands. That person will do a quick paint app, and then you guys split the fee 50-50, and you're going to price them twice what you normally would because now it's got that person's name on it. It's like, well, wait a minute. You're putting in all the work, you're paying way more to get this done for the opportunity to work with so-and-so, and they're going to get 50% of it for putting a black wash on there and a couple little details and spraying it with the coat and then saying, I collaborated with you. Like, no, that's silly. That's not a fair trade for anybody.
Yeah, no, I agree, dude. Dude, lots of good comments in here, man. I'm trying to keep up in here and it is not easy to do, but yeah, and so Brett was saying sorry, not sorry, but somebody, just what you're saying about COVID times. And you know what, and I think what bothered me about it was because it's, from what I heard, was the way that the artist said it was saying that COVID artists, he said it in a derogatory term, as far as like those artists are lesser. When I hear COVID artists, I hear someone trying to place them at a certain time that came into the scene. All I was saying was, I mean, can we call it something else besides COVID? Like, can we identify that time with something else instead of
wave 4, right? Like, that's in my brain, that's the easiest way of looking at it. Wave 4, wave 5. There's been one come out, there's multiple that come out. It's never just one. Like when we look at Sucklord might want to say he was the first one to come out in that wave 1. But when we talk to Healy, they were both presenting their work around that same time period. They're both wave 1. Hear somebody talking about Killer will often get placed into wave 2. Well, why did he get placed into wave 2? Well, because he was before Dollar Slice Bootlegs. He was wave 3. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only reason why.
Right.
And at the same time, like, every time that there's been one of these guys come in, it's a wave because it's more than one person. We suddenly see a drastic influx in makers and buyers, collectors. Every time, huge influx in like both. And then generally what we see is collectors end up wanting to become makers because they become fascinated. Typically becomes kit bashing at first, then grows into fucking casting something up. Everybody wants to try their hands with resin at some point, man. You get curious. It's neat.
Dude, and we've had some guests recently who are prime examples of that, and they're great artists, dude. And I was just talking to Pocket Salsa today, and I was talking about collecting artists for over a length of time, and then you can actually see the progression there. And then we got into, well, are you buying it for a because the piece is clean, or it's because it's from the artist? And that's the thing, dude. It's like, it's very hard to critique something that's so subjective, right? You almost can't do it. You can't, right? It's just one of those things. But I don't know.
You've got a giant pile of giveaway stuff you want to showcase and kind of show everybody that's going to be available for next week's episode, right?
Yeah, dude. So I got some opens here, some stuff to look at, and then the stuff for the giveaways. So man, where you want to start, dude? There's some fucking dope shit we're about to look at. I'll tell you that much.
Well, I'll be honest, I've been so captivated in the conversation we're having with Inee.Toys, and then I'll admit the chat is just shooting out some great comments that are definitely keeping the conversation just all over the place tonight. I haven't started getting the Wonder Wheel loaded up with names. So
yeah, well, it's all right, man. We can keep that going while you're loading up, dude. We can keep that going a little bit, dude. There's fun. I mean, because there are these other issues that I think are really prevalent in the community, right? We've talked about it before. That a lot of people don't talk about. They don't talk about it for a number of reasons, but and then from week to week, I think everybody kind of hears stuff behind the scenes, like, oh, so and so said this, and I saw this in a chat, and I saw this on a Discord, and so, which is cool because I think everybody here kind of knows what everybody's talking about. But I think there really is something to, like what you said about JunkFed, man. That guy, very welcoming. And a lot of the vets are, dude. I'd say 99% of them are, and I want to say I get it, that there's people coming into a scene that you thought was, yours in a way. But to me, that's just the wrong way to think about it, man. I mean, how is this scene going to continue and grow if new people don't enter it? You know what I mean? And why would they enter it if it's not a welcoming place? Like, it all goes hand in hand. It's not that easy to figure out. So,
humaning isn't easy to figure out. Every community, every scene, every group of people always becomes more and more difficult the more people that are there, right? But I would definitely say, man, like Trash Toy Studio, prime example, I guess. I remember first time I did business with him, I even remember saying like, yo, thank you for just being like so chill, man, and like making this really easy and comfortable and like just rad. And I remember him just right away being like, oh man, it was exactly like this when I came in the scene. I just want to make sure I'm passing those same good vibes. And that became almost like a constant out here from people that I would say are like good people, man, like people that have to this day kept that like very positive energy, positive mentality up in nothing but what's that even saying? Enforcing that through their words and actions, and
right.
It does end up wanting to make you, it encourages you to want to wipe your feet off before you go walking around in the scene, right? You don't want to necessarily, like, I say it all the time, man, it's a weird symbiotic organism. Because like the reality is that if you start being a shithead, like it's not fun anymore.
Yeah. No, I agree, dude. And I also agree with what Sazmac Toy said. I agree, man. Anytime in history we have strife or face tyranny, we see a bloom in art. It's called the Cultural Revolution. They just try to use buzzwords to kill it. Agreed. And it's I guess that's just kind of what it is, right? But anyways, we're all here, and I think we all agree. And I think, like I said, 99% of the people in this scene agree that everybody's doing a really cool thing where everybody's glad that everybody's here. Not a whole lot of gatekeeping going on. And let's be honest, bro, like what can you gatekeep about at this point? I think everybody's pretty much figured out what's going on with almost everything. Like even the vomiting droids thing, like that's still a heavily kept secret, but there's a couple people that know. And he even talked about it on our show.
Yeah. He doesn't like keep it a secret. It's just almost as if it's almost like people don't really bug him too often about what he's up to. They're kind of like, I think I get it.
100%, dude. I was going to say there's a big difference in keeping a secret and not talking about it. You know what I mean? I think there's a big difference there. And a lot of people don't talk about it. And honestly, dude, when it comes to this scene and stuff like that, I think people have a lot of respect for the artist where they're not going to ask. And I think that's cool because that keeps kind of the mystery in there of how they do it. It makes it kind of unique to them, in a scene where uniqueness is hard to come by.
I like to refer to it as like the secret sauce.
Yeah.
Secret sauce. And actually, you know what? There's almost like a respectful time frame on certain things I've seen as well. So like a prime example would be, I don't know, Wendigo has a couple figures that like if you go and look at them, you'll see the effect he's getting on those translucent figures. And I even told him, I was like, I really hope you get to play with that for a while. And what I meant by that was like, it wasn't as though what he was doing was all of a sudden like groundbreaking and like insane that nobody would be able to figure out what he was doing. I think most makers would be able to see it and go, oh, that's a great idea. I could do that. And that's where I was kind of like, yo, man, I really, really, really hope that like some of the makers give you that respect to let you just play with that for a bit. Cause that's really fucking cool. And like, I remember there was a very specific time another maker did something where it looked almost like blood was flowing through in a wispy pattern through it. And the same week they dropped those figures, the amount of people that then dropped a bunch of like blood wisped figures. And like, I remember that makers being like, ah, shit, dude, I thought I'd come up with something really cool. And you're like, well, you did. You came up with something really cool to the point that everybody wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And really play with it. Okay,
right.
I get it. And so like that's where it's like you want to see everybody like now be like hell, dude. Admittedly, like it's sick as fuck that Bobadrock has a couple of those pieces that are very reminiscent of Vomiting Droids pieces. But if now all of a sudden all Bobadrock did were identical Vomiting Droid things all the time, we'd all be like, well, that seems kind of weird that you just totally like took that.
Yeah, right. You're right. It would be weird, man.
And only for us too. Like the reality is Vomiting Droids is such a saint that he would actually be like probably just flattered and would reach out and be like, yo, dude, those look amazing. I need one.
Yeah, right. Hey, can you make me one of those?
Like
but yeah, man, it's it's a trip. The whole thing's a trip.
It's just, the hardest part of being a human being is we're all humans being.
That's it. Let's look at some toys, man. What you want to look at? You want to look at some grabs first, or you want to look at some giveaway stuff?
I kind of want to see some of the giveaways that are up and coming. I've got this wheel loaded up with a couple names, but I'm curious what some of the next week giveaways are that you're sitting on over there, because I hear they're actually pretty fucking glorious. And
you heard that? You heard that, did you?
and I don't know what I don't know what tonight's giveaways are that we're doing. I have no idea. I've been out to lunch this week, folks. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm out to lunch.
Johnny Marbles. Well, welcome back then. Johnny Marbles, what's up, man? Did not say hi to you when you came in. Uncle Spank had made a comment earlier about somebody that I know in Atlanta. No, I was asking if you, being from Atlanta, know that artist. I'm sorry, what was his name?
Neon Stalkers.
Neon Strikers. Yeah. So Uncle Spank, I was asking if you possibly knew Neon Strikers, because that guy kind of went away and he had some really dope shit. So I just want to know if that was somebody that you know, being from that area. Okay. Giveaways.
Professor up there.
It's okay. We'll start out light. Okay. Pick that up at today. Yeah, dude. They got this. Have some absolutely sick ones. Do some shopping at Super 7. Me and Folk back and forth in the comments the other day. And we were talking about Super 7 and just kind of some of the recent stuff that they have coming out and have put out recently, and it's really, really dope stuff. This one is Godzilla, King Ghidorah. Bam. So anyways, yeah, so wave 2. I don't know what this is wave 2. Man, I want to say they had other ones there too. Maybe not though. I'm looking at them now. They definitely had the Hedorah.
Did you know that was a Kong at one point? The actual like Godzilla, the King Kong, Gold Kong.
No. So we did the Wing Kong. Remember, we did 2 different Wing Kong. One was a glow one was that brown one, which had those really cool card backers. Those were popular, man. I almost grabbed another one of those because they're still there. But anyways, yeah. So that's one that'll be going. By the way, dude, shout out to Brent from where the toys are, the Super 7 homie. I love going in that store, dude. I usually go in like right in the middle of the afternoon. They have weird hours. They're open from noon till 8. Just like a San Francisco store, right? Just like, hey, we'll get there when we get there, and we'll close when we want to go home. You know,
well, who's really running and getting toys at 9 in the morning?
Well, and you know what? It's in an odd part of town. It's on 16th Street, but it's up in. It's not in like a retail spot where you think it would be. It's just kind of there. You'd miss it if you didn't know what you were walking by, you know. And it's a small shop to begin with, but love that dude. Super cool store. We always have a really good time chatting it up all hanging out in there the other day, because he told me that those the ones with the pre-code comic backers were coming in, so he let me kind of hang out in there until those came in. So that was cool.
Platinum blonde, or is it like a striking X-Men white type shit going on there on the top of that head?
What? I don't know. He was wearing so a what?
Beanie or cap? Is his
Cap?
hair short right now? Super short.
You know what? I think he might. Yes, I think it is. But anyways, dude, and I was telling somebody else, dude, they have some really dope shirts out here. Here's a quick story about that I thought was super interesting. So I noticed that they had a bunch of Sesame Street stuff. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. How did you guys land the license to Sesame Street, right? Because they have and that is sick. So check that out. There's also a trash can, excuse me, Oscar the Grouch shirt. I almost said trash can monster. The Grouch shirt. And they had there's a Bert and Ernie one with Super 7. So what he told me was they ended up getting the license to do some Muppet stuff. Sesame Street is the only other entity that is allowed to use the word Muppet as a descriptive piece of what they're doing. And the reason for that is because Jim Henson worked on Sesame Street and gave them permission to do that. So when they got the license for the Muppets,
they got Sesame Street too.
Sesame Street is an added bonus with that. It's kind of like a freebie. So there is going to be a Big Bird Ultimate coming out, but they're going to start dipping into Sesame Street stuff. And honestly, I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be cool.
I don't know what it is, but I want to fuck the shit out of Brent. He's my go-gay guy. Don't know what it is, dude.
Yeah, Sazmac. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there. As Super 7. So anyways, here's some more stuff that we'll go through, dude. So here I got the homie Hurt Toys showed up there the other day, and I had picked up a couple things at Super 7 for him, and he wanted to pay me for them, and I said, let's just trade. You got some pieces for the show? And he's like, already got it. Already got your box right here. Hands me a box with 3 dope ass pieces in them, all in show colors. Here we go. There's the first one. Yes. Chunky boy. Heavy. Solid. I believe
those dudes are gorgeous in any color, man. That's such a dope fucking figure.
It really is, and there is some good UV on it. And it's hard to see, man. Just like Ryan was showing on his, it's hard to see these, but yeah, dude. So that's one. That's a dope one. if you don't win this one and you do want one of these, hit them up.
I love the little tail in that thing for some reason. That weird little, like, I just like that little nubbin right there so much. It's fun.
It's great, dude. This thing's so compared to a 3.75, it's beefy. It's a big dude.
9
Yeah.
inches.
Yeah, it's probably 3, 4, 5, 6, probably 6, I would say 6 to 7. But it's a dope one, man.
Well, you know us men, you always gotta add about 2 inches.
Well, you added 3, and that's cool. You can add 3. So anyway, so there's that one.
That's a beef, dude. That thing's dope though.
Yeah, that
clean cast on that too, given the ears, those big fucking thin ears.
Super clean. And I don't know if you could see it there, but then he hand painted the eyes red.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's dope. This is another one that's in show colors. Boom. Voltron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of magnetic articulation. No paint
too. Dope, dude. Didn't realize.
Oh yeah.
You know,
made them separately.
You know, I think what's sick about that is, so most of you, if you win this, anybody wins this, buy one too, and that way you can swap out wings with them.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%. That's dope, man. That's another big piece, dude. It's clean. It is, like I said, no paint on there, dude. Just kind of like the pink and blue. But that's another one, dude. If anybody's, you know what? I would say hit him up for a Voltron, but I know that there's going to be a drop of Voltrons coming sometime. I don't know when, but I've seen them, and they're dope, dude. Damn, it's a good one. And this last one from him, dude, I am absolutely struggling to give this away. I really don't want to give this away because I saw it and I'm just like, is that a giveaway? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, dude, I was hoping you were going to say it's for me. This is beautiful. This is beautiful, dude. Look at that Batman. Ugh. With the purple cape, the pink and the blue. Oh, God damn. Beauty, man. I do not want to give that away. I will. And congrats to whoever gets that thing. I will remember your address.
Some of the pieces you see come through that are basically just like your house is the halfway home before they make it to their home. It's got to be just
yeah, dude. Seeing all the pieces come in that were given away, I'm just like, wow, dude. I have a shelf that would look amazing on, you know.
It's salsa, man. Like, what's funny is her toys is almost so humble. They're much like a lot of you dudes in this chat. They underprice their stuff, and anybody will tell you that.
Yep.
I almost feel like they don't typically post their prices on their posts because even they kind of know, like, it'll be a free for all if I post.
Never.
It's better if somebody DMs me and I can tell them what the price is, because otherwise, like, people are gonna be banging at my door.
Yeah, never post price. Actually, he did post something today for Star Wars Day, for his first post in a while. So congrats, bud. I'm actually going to an event with him on Saturday. I'm very excited about. It's a wedding, and it's a family member of his, and it's going to be a good time, man. I am really looking forward to that. I will probably post some pictures about that one, but that's going to be a good time. Looking forward to that one. Yeah. So you know what? Also with this Batman, yeah, there you go. Look at that red Jawa, dude. Like, where did that come from? I haven't seen that.
You know, for me, it's the green Gamorrean Guard. Just like how the blue Uze Hoth Trooper is a big deal. For me, that green Gamorrean Guard is super Mexican Gamorrean Guard vibes every time, man. Green Gamorrean Guards.
And that one's got that black wash, dude. I know that he likes that black wash, and I have a few of his pieces with black wash on it. And actually, I just ordered a piece through Hella yesterday, and I don't know if we were gonna do a black wash on that one or not. I can't remember. I know he asked me about it, but anyways, with that Batman, dude, also comes the little bat logo there. There it is, man. Yeah, there it is.
Even I think the first time I ever met King Dinkus, even shoe right away was just kind of like, do you have a thing for Batman? Because right away it was like, you already got my house. I gotta. You need that.
And were you like, yes?
Yes, absolutely. Actually, I'm pretty sure she kept it to herself till she came into my apartment. Then she saw all of the Batman and was like, "Do you have a thing for Batman, eh?" And it's like, yes, I do. And I've told you as well, actually, before too. One of the only pieces I have on my regular toy shelf is that her TOYZ Batman, man. That's one of the like 19. I can't think about it right now. Like 1996 Batman figures.
Oh yeah. I remember that one. You know what I also noticed about this one, and maybe you guys who cast in resin can let me know what this is. But so if you have a Healy made figure, and I'm not talking about the $25 figure, I'm talking about like a $70 figure, 3.75 static from Healy, let's say an SWWF figure, a Star Wars wrestling figure, that's a very good example. And it's got almost a porcelain feel to it. The texture of it almost feels porcelain. It's not, but it feels like that. Whatever that is, and it's got kind of like that matte finish to it. That's what that feels like. That's what that looks like, and that's what that feels like. If anybody knows what that is, I could probably just ask Lucas and he'll fucking tell me. I don't know why I didn't ask him. But it's not glossy. Like I said, it's like a matte finish. And it just looks and feels incredibly clean, dude. Nice, strong magnets.
Is it maybe not just a matte clear coat?
No clear coat. I don't think he uses a clear coat, man. I think he does sometimes. There's definitely not one on this one. I'll just ask him tomorrow when I see him.
There you have it. Mecca was asking about cake toppers, and yeah, Shed Quarters and I both were telling him, yeah, Titty Bean ended up making his own cake toppers for his wedding, and actually ended up kickbacking the figures as well.
Yes, he did. I remember that, dude. That was very cool.
Terrible Toy Works dropping down the knowledge there, and I have actually heard Rainbow Yawn say this before as well. If you hit your model with a matte sealant before molding, every piece will come out. And he's actually said the same about a gloss as well. That finish will just happen in the mold. Yeah, I remember Rainbow Yawn saying the same thing, and he said he doesn't do the gloss one if he plans on painting the figure, but if it's anything he plans on not painting, then he'll end up hitting the original figure that he's molding with that. And I believe even Kerfloss has experimented with that as well. Yeah. And somebody who's actually a great fucking maker, Catman's Forever. He's got those pieces, the Symbolomancer, and there's a couple others from that series. And he does something really cool with those that once you know, but basically he puts a clear coat gloss in the areas where like the creature's hands and faces would be, then a matte clear coat where all of the fabrics would be. So that way, when he casts up his figures, it still gives you a variant in those two fabric tones, not just the texture.
Gotcha.
Sometimes, man. So like even when you're looking at the shelf, the face and the hand on the figure will look like a different texture, like visibly even from the body. Terrible Toy Works is saying our coffin lids have both matte and satin finishes, and they're baked into our molds themselves. Ooh, that sounds sexy as hell.
Yeah.
See, that's an extra little step in there that like you really wouldn't know. Like Terrible Toy Works, man. Thanks for laying that out, dude. One, giving us some knowledge, and then showing how you can master it once you get it fucking down, dude. That is a smart fucking use.
Yeah. Before I forget, dude, there's two giveaways that I wanted to mention. Because I don't have them in hand yet. There is going to be a couple for that I'm actually picking up from him next week in person, so that'll be cool. I have another piece that I ordered from him for me that's going to be cool too. And another good one, dude, big shout out to Dustin from E2K. I hit that dude up and I was like, hey, dude, I'm going to buy some gift cards for our show next week. And he's like, you know what, dude, I'm going to donate some too. So we have a handful of Earth to Kentucky gift cards. The best way, he said, to get those to people would be whoever wins, get their email afterwards, and he would basically email them the gift card. So that is definitely happening. That's going to be very cool. He's sending
sick as fuck, man. Thank you to
Yeah,
you and Dustin, man. You guys are fucking wild. Wow.
dude, that's going to be so cool because people are going to, one, be able to give E2K some business and get in their store, but also it's going to go towards buying a piece that they want from another artist. You know what I mean? I think that's a really good way to kind of give people a nudge to shop there and find something really cool. So yeah, that'll be awesome. There's also a bunch of t-shirts that he's going to send. I don't know if there's going to be here in time for the giveaway, but they will be here for future giveaways. So Dustin, man, I met him in person at Assembly Required last year, or this last Assembly Required. And just a great dude, man, just a really, really great dude. I told him, I feel like his store is kind of the mecca for us. You know, it's a storefront. And there's not many of those that are doing 100% what he's doing.
Rocking it, man.
Yeah. So dope, man. I mean, I know a lot of people in the room have stuff, you know, actually in his store. And it's dope, man. He's definitely about the artist, man. He wants the artist to make as much money as they possibly can, where it's still being feasible for him to keep that shop open, dude. And I think that's very, very important.
Well, so there's a lot of really cool events. Like, I'll admit, it's sick to me when, like, I get Resin Blood was teasing about being like, well, that was all just kind of like ironic, you know, or you know, it was just like jokes. But it doesn't matter if it was for jokes or not. That brought a bunch of the community out to that store that night, and a bunch of the homies out together. And the reality is, it still felt nice to see on like fucking One Trick's posts or on Skull and Void's posts, them talking about being there, seeing Resin Blood, Buddy Max getting his chest tatted or signed by Resin Blood and shit. It's like, those are still memories. That's still experiences. That's still laughs and enjoyment with a bunch of people, man, that he brought together at his shop. And he's done that consecutively. Like, there's been other times you see pictures where it'll be like Disgusting Justin and Wonky Toy Company and Resin Blood and Dustin and One Trick, and you know what I mean? And they're all gathered around at E2K for some art show or an exposition or a gallery, and like, he does big long lives that are actually legit. I don't mean to call them big long lives. I meant like they're extensive because he's covering all the footage that came out that night. You can actually see like, as he walks around, greets some of the artists, tells you what the piece is. He's sat there with Barbarian Rage before and done them. It's like, yeah.
Dope, man. Dude, you're 100% right, dude. And it really is just a really just positive place, I think, for everybody here. So yeah. Anyway, so that's so that'll be happening. So that'll be I think probably about $125 worth of gift cards. So probably 5 gift cards in there for E2K. That'll be fun to give out, man. We're gonna have a lot of winners. I'm gonna have to keep track of how many we actually have, but so that's the Hurt Toys stuff. You want to keep going on that? I mean, there's more.
Jeez. Why don't you pop a box of like, okay, so why don't you show us a box of something that you actually have for yourself that you've kind of come in for you? I want to see one of your new toy goodies.
Yeah, so yeah, go ahead.
And then I was gonna say, I've got the wheel, I think, pretty much well loaded up at this point too. If you want it, are we doing it? If you had something you wanted to toss out in the wild tonight, I don't know what the game plan is. I'm just flying in here.
Yes, I'll do that. We'll do that for sure. So we have the Sasamac or the Sasmac giveaway piece of 3.75. We'll save that one for later because that one is the one that I advertised. But I do have a little something else that we can give away. So let's do that. We will give that away. So, but it kind of piggybacks on the back of this next grab that I have. So let's talk about that real quick.
Do it, dude. I'm so sorry.
No, all good. This is actually perfect. So I had a really good response, dude, to those Super 7 pieces that I posted yesterday. I don't know if you saw those, but what I was talking about before was the pre-code for the Comic Book Association. It was 4 different card backs that they have. No, I was in the store and they just got released yesterday. And Brent told me right away, he's like, hey, man, if FedEx comes in while you're here, it's going to be those. It's going to be those figures. So I'm like, okay, well, let me slow down my shopping here and just like really take my time. And then sure enough, dude, FedEx shows up, bam, like clockwork, dude. Opened them up. He only had a dozen of each flavor. And he said he wasn't sure if it was going to be a limited release or that's just kind of like a little tester that they got for the shop. Anyway, so I picked up, there was 4 different ones. I picked them all up because they're just so damn cool. And my Instagram fucking fucked up the pictures yesterday when I posted them. It ended up posting one of them like 4 times. And I hate that shit. You can't even go back in to edit it. You know what I mean? And then you just look stupid. People are like, oh, cool, there's a lot of pictures here. And they start flipping by and they're just like, this fucking guy posted the same one 4 fucking times. What is wrong with this?
Close IG and reopen it, thinking that my app was fucking up. I'm like, what the hell?
No,
this shit. Am I lagging here?
You know what? Inee.Toys told me that the same thing has happened to him. So I don't know why it does that. It seems to do it randomly. But it's done that to me a handful of times, dude. And I hate it every time because you're basically looking at redoing it or suck it up. And that's what it is. You know what I mean?
I definitely have those moments where I read out like how long has it been up there? Has anybody really seen it yet? Can I get away with getting it off and back up before anybody really catches it?
Yeah, I know. So anyways, here is that's what I wanted to show. I wanted to show these. This one is really cool. This one says ghostly weird story. I mean the art on these, dude. We actually got into a conversation with a couple different people when these were posted, and we're talking about even the font, how cool that is, and then the figure, but the card back is just so damn cool. Now they all have the same backer on them. So there's 4 different figures on the back. They do have, like I said, it's the same backer on all 4 figures, which is still cool. It has that kind of old school back of the comic book. You want to buy some sea monkeys type look to it. But it's rad, man. I mean, that's a great freaking figure. And the whole setup, I ended up getting ones that were unpunched. Thank you again, Brent. But ghostly weird stories is that guy. Boom. So there's that one. There's this one, Chilling Tales, which is another.
Robert Bloom is saying it. He thinks they're legit comics, and I agree. But the issue is that a lot of these are before the comic code of conduct, and so like they would have been on newsstands and then basically like just disappeared like overnight essentially. And so like the Chilling Tales one I recognize. Eerie is super familiar for a lot of us because Eerie would have had the 3 witches, and it would have also had Tales from the Crypt dude in it as well. But
yes.
I don't know what comic they're referencing. So if anybody knows, please pop it down in the chat there.
Yeah. Oh, and Skilled says mail away backer from back in the day. That's exactly what it is. It's a mail away ad. But there's that one, which is really cool, man. So this is Chilling Tales. It's got a creepy looking guy. I'm very curious to see who's gonna cast these first, you know, and what parts they're gonna use. There's another one. Now this is my personal favorite one because this is some art that I have seen before, that black cat. But look at that figure, dude. What the hell? Yes. That is dope. Black cat. Very cool on that one. And then this one guy has kind of a swampy look to him. Baffling Mysteries.
I think he'll get abused the most, if I'm being honest.
Baffling Mysteries. And it's very cool. I love that card backer too. And it's funny that you say this one's going to get used the most because I bought an extra one of these to give away. And why the hell not? Let's give it away tonight. We can even give it away right now if you want, whenever you're ready. But this is what it is. Someone is about to win this.
I'm really sorry if I stepped on any toes at all with that at all, man. I'm sometimes
No.
just out of the fucking.
No, not at all. Not at all, dude. You know what, dude? Everybody's been in here for a while and been really active. Everybody deserves a giveaway right now. So let's do a giveaway, man. We'll do the one for Sazmac at the end of the show. But I mean, fuck, dude. Let's just do an appreciation giveaway right now. Someone's about to win that.
But I mean, let's be honest, either that head, the hands, the feet, the body, all those things could be used for different, like, all the monsters and critters that are going to exist out there.
Yeah, dude. It's just, and you know what's really cool, man? It's like these are all, completely new sculpts and stuff. I mean, you get into some of those reaction figures and where the bodies and torsos and arms and legs, they look very similar, but these are all completely new, dude. Like I haven't seen any of these on any of them. The beard on that guy is great, dude. That's a straight up Baba Drock beard, right? Very cool, man.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, I'll be really surprised if like that head doesn't get used for a Swamp Thing figure at some point. I'd be very surprised if those hands and feet don't get used for some sort of creature of the black. Because let's face it, man. Like we've had so many creatures of the black lagoons. Those are some webbed hands and feet.
Yeah.
Maybe we're looking to get like a fucking. I'm thinking of Titty Bean right now, personally. But
yeah. Yeah, Bliss says he feels guilty opening Super 7 figs because the card art is so on point. Agree, dude. And you know what I do sometimes when I find myself doing this, and I gotta stop doing it because I always say that I'm gonna stop collecting shit like this. But if it's something really cool, like a Healy made, I grabbed that new Healy made piece the other day, that new Hellbent, that gold figure. I bought two. I had to buy one to keep in the and I do that because of just what Bliss said, dude, because of the card art. I love the figure and I want to display it as a figure with all the other, with all his other little Healy friends. But the card art is really cool too, man. And that's worth displaying on its own. So, and these are same way. I mean, the card art, this one is a really good combination of, sometimes you see something you're like, the figure's okay, but the card art is what really makes it, right? I think this whole four figure series is one that's really like, oh man, those are dope figures and those are even doper backers. And I think Super 7 really hit a fucking home run with this one, man. This is awesome. I wish they would do more of these. They're great. Really great.
it is.
So someone's about to win. Yeah. There we go.
Oh, you nailed it, man. Someone's about to win that dope ass fucking piece that you were super generous to grab.
Dude, you know what was funny is I saw Yuckamuck when he just came on and he said, wheel me. Wheel me.
Which, I mean, hey, don't blame him, man. You got wheeled right away, homie. That being said, always I like to make sure that we kind of roll through it a little bit, but for anybody who can't see us on a tiny little screen or can't, I don't know, because I'm talking, they're just seeing my face instead for some stupid reason. We've got Sassmass Toy, King Dingus, Dreze's, Brett Porpoise, Shed Quarter Creations, Fletcher Sandvik, Bootleg Toyco, Breakfast Wizard, Robert Bloom, Johnny Marbles, Baba Drock, Death and Strawberries, Jazz Wizard, Terrible Toyworks, Suki, Uncle Spank, Mr. Ordinary, Strife 7, Dookie McFart Sniffle, Northwest Atheist, Street Fight SPDX, Zymat Co, PK Mates, Pocket Salsa, Mecha Ducky, Calico Chris Tattoo, Crashman 27, Nim Studio, Skilled One, Colin Has Been Toys, Yuckamuck, Recycle Galaxy, and Bliss Receptor. If you did not hear your name called, please let us know. I will try and make sure that we get you as instantly as what is going on? Kingdom of Spiders. Sup? If anybody's not familiar with Kingdom of Spiders, get on that. That dude's game is insane. And now my brain knows who they are, and I can link the two because there was a while that I did not make the link.
Yes, 100%, dude. Love that work.
I wish I was a Transformer. Yeah, you know what? Is resin? I almost feel bad. Like, I almost feel like I inadvertently should be adding Resin Blood every damn time because we know he's just whizzing around the basement with this plan in the background. Like, am I insane to assume that?
No. You're right. And there's somebody else I want you to put on there too, man. And I think everybody would agree. And I hope everybody's cool with this. But Kajiki Toys, I had a good conversation with him the other day. He's got a couple things going on, none of which I'm going to discuss. But some of it prevents him from watching the show, and he's a great supporter of the show. And we've talked about his work a bunch of times, and I think it would be legit if we put him on there.
I'm glad that you've reached out to him, man, because haven't seen him in the chat
Yeah,
lately. So glad you're on that.
Dylan Clement, you on the gutter. Okay, cool.
Dylan Clement's on there. There's actually Anthill is in here, but I'm trying to find their name in the chat. I'm just gonna type it out in a second here. Daniel Antill, but I like to call it Anthill. And I believe the first night that they were in here as well, they were like, "How do I get on that wheel?" And I'm like, "Shit, dude, I was making fun of your last name when you first came in, and I forgot to add you to the wheel." So, no man left behind. I think I've got it spelled wrong. I believe it's Antrill, but I'm really sorry, man. I was looking for it in the chat here to make sure I actually got it right, but I still biffed it.
Yeah. You know what's funny, dude? We were talking about Kingdom of Spiders. Hurt Toys, dude. He doesn't really go out of his way to tell me that he really digs somebody's work. He does, but that's one guy, Kingdom of Spiders, where he's like, I love that dude's work. And he's right, dude. It's great work. If you haven't checked that out, which I'm sure everybody here probably has by now, but if you haven't for some reason, please check that out.
Mechaduck is even saying we need a play-by-play. You know, I feel like Resin Blood could probably make a lot of money just having cameras all over his establishment, including the toy shop and the tattoo parlor and that basement. And it could be 24-hour live streamed, and it would totally get people watching it. Hey, Death of Strawberry, sorry about that, homie. I didn't put you on the wheel. You are being added as we speak. And I'll give it one last.
Try to church. Bro, DNS, great poll, my man. That's a Joe Dirt line right there. That's funny, man.
I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Oh my god. David Spade, man.
Skilled one. You're on there. PK mate. All right, I think I've got everybody in here now. Yeah, Robert Bloom, I would actually really like to get a tattoo. You know, I was talking to a homie about it recently, and I mean, I think it would have to be Resin Blood. I really want the 1979 Darth Vader Kenner figure right where a sideburn would be, on the side of my face. Just fucking like 2 inches, red lightsaber along the inside of that conch area. Just the fucking Kenner Vader, man. I think it would just look sick as shit right beside the ear. All right, spin in this wheel.
Yuckamuck says Def Leppard sucks. Man.
Street Fight SPDX, what's going on? Dude, I feel like Street Fight SPDX might have similar luck to Has Been Toys. They just like to hide it so nobody rips on them too hard. But Street Fight SPDX might be up there, giving Colin a run for his money on winner. Fucking
yeah, no kidding. Street Fight.
So
awesome, man. Coming your way.
It does suck, and it has always been really comical to me that like they weren't even big yet when their drummer lost their arm, and they were still like, we'll keep you. It's cool. Poor little one-armed drummer boy.
One-armed drummer boy. I like Def Leppard. Hysteria was one of the first tapes I owned. And that was when I lived in Half Moon Bay, man. And that was rad music to me back then, dude.
Every time you say Half Moon Bay, I'm so sorry. My brain pictures some like terrible, like just US TV show about vampires in a small creek town or something like that with a bunch of teen romance.
That's funny.
It
does sound like that, doesn't it? It does sound like that. You're right. Like great little town, man. It's a great little town, dude. It's like you know, at this point in history, I would say it's unaffordable at this point. You know, when I lived there in the mid 80s, it was just a little dumpy coastal town. Oh, hold on. Let me get caught up on this real quick. Wow. Fuck the Eagles. Agree with that. Yeah. Pour some sugar on me.
Oh, yo, and that actually works out really sick. I don't know if you saw Street Fight SPDX is saying they're planning on getting the rest of the set. So that even kind of works out really sick, man. They're like now one day.
Oh, yeah. Right on. Right on.
Right.
Yeah, and I think they're available on I think these are available on super7.com. I know they sent out an email the other day that they were coming out. But anyway, super dope, man. And usually when you order online, from what I've seen, most of the time you will get an unpunched figure. I know the ones in the store, they only put one unpunched figure in each case. The other ones are for hanging.
Well, let's face it, most of the workers, they're going to claim that one there.
Yeah, that's, I mean,
You pop
a
the
dope,
box
man.
and you
They
grab
have,
the ones you want.
yeah, they have a really, really good selection of stuff right now, man. It was, oh man, I had to use some serious restraint the other day. It was had some really cool shit. Okay, so next, let's do these baddies right here. Let's do Strafe 7. Strafe 7 actually showed up last week. But it was on, like, I think it was on the show day. Dude, this is that double set that he just came out with, and I told him that I think this is my favorite colorway that he's done so far. Oh man, that's so good, dude. So let's take a look at these. This is the diver. It's a it's like a pink, oh man, I don't even know what you call it, pink and teal kind of metallic. But I mean, just freaking beautiful. If you've seen any of the posts recently, there's a lot of these that have landed in people's homes already. And then he did a lot of pictures of them too, and they're gorgeous, dude. Very, very cool. Really clean and crisp paint work on there too. Those straps are gold. But dude, that pink on the turquoise or teal, dope, man. Let's take the helmet off and take a look at the head. Yeah, sick.
That's a really good one.
That's a great one, dude. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's I mean, the pink hands and that fade. I mean, there's some painted details on there. But that's all it is painted details. The rest is just the pour. Yeah, that's a beauty.
And really nice with just that little bit of silver, a little bit of gold, man.
100%, dude. And you know what? I'm taking this the zombie knot out right now. And this one, the gold details like on the wrist and on the boots. That's another just crazy good one. Man, that's a beauty. Strafe, excellent job, my man. Really, really cool. Really small details on the chest plate there. And again, there goes the zombie head that's cut open. That's always a really cool detail in there. All right, Brett, take it easy, my man.
You know, it's hard to tell between those two sculpts or models, like which one is doper, man. They're both so sick.
Yeah, and I mean, these ones, I mean, the hits just keep going with these ones, man. Like every single one that comes out, even though, I mean, especially the last few have just been, you remember that purple and gold diver with the chain on it?
Yeah.
Oh,
And I feel bad saying it because they've been making some good pieces for a while now, but they've really, really stepped up the game in the last year, man. The last, like you just said it, the last couple have been fucking bangers, dude.
yeah. Yeah. Really, really nice. So there's those from Strafe 7. What you want to do next? Another open?
Another open, man. Show us the goods.
How about this one, dude? This one, I'm very excited to get another package from Barrio Boba.
Oh,
Yeah. So this is what I got from Barrio Boba. We always talk about like meticulous paint. Dude, Barrio Boba's paint on his minifigs is top shelf, like top shelf. And this is the Boba Feticus. And now I picked up the one, he did have an assembly required exclusive that I was like gold and red. I did snag that one too. But this one was in the Kenner colors. And I mean, shit, as advertised, just crazy good paint on it, man. We always talk about sweat equity. $15 on this. $15 on this. Material and time, and the time it took to paint that. I mean, we could probably go around the room and ask everybody what they charge for that. It's very, very cool, dude. The paint on that is so crisp. That's a great one, dude. I love that one. Kenner colors, sick. Great sculpt.
Like with painting, I feel like a lot of people don't take into consideration is even like the paint up on that one there. When you consider that the green might take several coats, the yellow might take several coats, the red might take several coats, like all those are going to take multiple coats. The more times you're going over that area, the more opportunities there is to fuck up the line work on there. And then on top of that, man, like paint has to dry. That's probably the most annoying thing in the world, right? Especially on resin and plastics. Like you have to let it cure. And like you can use acrylics obviously or quick drying shit, but at the same time, like you don't really want your colors that you're painting to dry up on your palette too fast. So like, dude, yeah, that's time consuming. Like, absolutely. The fact that's not a $30 piece is kind of mind blowing.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say, man, if you're looking for a good value as far as like some nice hand painted stuff, look no further. Barrio Boba, man, hit him up. I'm sure that there's some homies left. I don't know if there's any of these left. This actually came off of the Toys on Tap show the other day where they were selling, which I'm going to add, I thought that was good, man. Like if you were keeping track of what was being bought and the questions that people were asking, positive show. Once a month on Fridays. I think it's a great way for artists. If you got some shit laying around that you don't think anybody's going to buy, put it out there. And I guarantee you there will be at least some interest in it. But I thought it was a great way to get some pieces out there and just kind of say, hey, you know, you're taking a lot of the thinking out of the buyer's hands, which is great. I think that a lot of these pieces are impulse buys. You know what I mean? I think a lot of it hits on nostalgia and a lot of it hits on some of that, you know, that kind of chord. But I think a lot of it is impulse buys too. And that's what that show feels like it is impulse buys where the artist is putting something out and saying, hey, I got this. Does anybody want it? I necessarily don't want to put it on my website. You know, maybe it's been on my website and no one's bought it. Taking $5 or $10 off. Titty Bean did free shipping from Australia. Now, let's be honest, dude. I think that the deciding factor in a lot of these international purchases is the shipping, right? You're looking at a $40 Titty Bean piece with a $27 price tag for shipping. Now, all of a sudden, that's a $67 piece that you thought you were getting at a good deal at $40, which is rough, dude. And, you know, and I hate to say that that's a deterrent for a lot of people, myself included, but it is. And that's just the facts. You know what I mean? There's a lot of artists from Argentina that I'd love to buy stuff from, but I can't pay, you know, $30 for a great 5.5 and then pay $50 shipping on it. I won't do it. You know, it's tough, man, but that's a very cool way to, you know, run a sale or, you know, whatever it is.
No, somebody actually ended up doing this recently. It was, I'm gonna fuck up the name. I'm not gonna remember it. Toy Art something. Somebody's gonna end up catching it though. They usually do like Pokemon figures and a couple of drippy figures, but they literally just did a post the other night that was like, hey guys, like I'm probably not gonna be able to do toys for a bit. I have a little one that just popped out of the womb here. I'm gonna be taken care of. So here's everything I've got left that maybe hasn't sold, like claim sales or anything else. That shit was gone so fast to the point that they then were like, hey, so I did some more digging. I was so surprised by everything that got grabbed last time. I've got some more. It's like, yeah, because we've said it before, we don't know if you have any of these.
Yeah.
A lot of times, especially if we're just not really in the mood, we're late at night, you're in bed, you don't want to have to slide into a DM, you don't want to bug somebody, you just want to grab something.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Robert Bloom, I don't know. From Pumpkin Pop, that's not the artist that I bought from in Argentina. I do know that Argentina is extremely expensive on their shipping. I don't know why that is. But it is. I've bought from 3 different artists out there. Pumpkin Pop was not one of them, but every one of them has been the shipping cost on that has just been crazy. Let's talk, man. Here's something that I want to throw out there and just see if this formula, do you think this formula would work? And it's the formula that Is it somebody's doing it already that we talk about? It's I believe they're in Brazil and they ship out of Colorado.
Resenagem.
Yes, 100%. I want to, whenever I think of that, I want to say Omni-Res for some reason. But Resinagem, yeah, absolutely, man. Is that a formula that would work where if an international guy, girl, artist sent over a box of stuff to the States and says, hey, when all this stuff is sold, I'm going to have you ship it out. That way we can do the shipping at a domestic rate as opposed to an international rate, and you may get some more sales like that. I've been kicking that around, dude, and seeing if any international people would have interest in that, man. I don't know. I think that could be the beginning of something, maybe not something huge, but I do think it would really drive some sales to people who have that high price tag of shipping as the deciding factor.
Well, I think that's why it's so sick when somebody like E2K carries some titty beam, because right, like or even DKE when they carry some titty beam, because that means Titty can ship over like 5 to 10 figures.
Mm-hmm.
The backers beside them or under them, they fucking clamshell them all, pop it out.
Yeah.
It kind of works out really well in a way, but I don't know, man. It becomes tough. I would say, do you want to be sitting on inventory? That's what it always comes down to, because once you break it down that you're sitting on multitudes of these things and it's now up to you to move them, it becomes inventory, realistically.
Yeah.
And there has to be a pretty big line of trust there. If the artist is like, oh no, it's okay, dude, you don't have to buy them on consignment or buy X amount at a lower price. You just have them. And when they sell, you ship them. You know, that's a lot of trust in an artist is then putting in your hands.
Exactly. And there would have to be like a relationship of some point, you know, of something. There is a lot of trust that would have to go into that. But I mean, I think if you're having the majority of your buyers from the States, that may be something to look into. Shipping, let's be honest, dude, did shipping rates ever go down? That's one of those things that just don't go down, dude. They always go up. Do we ever see a decrease?
Well, because gas goes up, right? Like that's gonna be that's gonna be one of the smaller domino effects in this contributing factors. Is even just the cost of like the price of gas going up, tariffs between different places. Yeah, a lot of contributing factors, absolutely, man.
Yeah, Robert Bloom, you know, he said he was shipping to Norway during COVID and they wanted $810 for a package. You know, and I don't know what tax that is. I mean, I'm sure I could really educate myself in about 10 minutes if I got online and found out what it is. But we were trying to send a package to Shotgun Karaoke in Finland and they wanted $50 for him to pick it up. Well, shit, the stuff that I sent him didn't even cost $50. It's tough, man. It's just, you know, shipping's one of those things. It sucks that it's a deciding factor, but in reality it is. Let's get back to Barrio Boba though, man. So we saw the boat with Feticus, and then this was the other. First of all, bam, some of the coolest stickers out there. Love those. Now this is what Inee got. Now, did he have a Vader head or was it a Bosk head? I think it was a Vader head. So I snagged a Vader head too. And you know what I thought was really cool about this one, dude? Like you look on the bottom of that is like glass, straight water, dude. You know what I mean? And the cool thing is these are the candy heads, and he casted some of those candies. If you followed his Instagram posts, he actually casted those candies, dude, and then dropped them in there. That is wild.
He's saying he had a Boba Fett head.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there was some of those too. Nice.
And yeah, so you're right. The candies aren't real candies. Well, they're candies he molded and casted.
Right.
And then put castings of the candies in the candy container heads.
Right. So it's like a double cast, I guess you would say, right? Kind of, sort of. Now you can't really see the glow really good because I have the other light on, but there is, I mean, it's glow and UV. It's really cool, man. He actually did a really good post where he showed these all under the black light, and they're red. But nice little chunky pieces, man. Hit them up if you want one of these. I'm not sure if there's any left or not, but really cool. God, look at that, dude. I love that. Dude, that always trips me out, man.
The bottom.
ETC, when it's super clear like that, he's got a lot of them. I have an Oni Beast from him. That it's just like that, dude. And you can see right through it. Like,
okay, so while you're looking at that bottom part of that right there, and this is nothing against any makers out there whatsoever, but look at the bottom of that piece and then look at the face of that piece, and now really consider your rainbow yawn skella, like scare glow, and how sick it is, and even through the abs you can see that fucking skeleton underneath. Because that's something that it even took me learning more and more about TOYZ to really appreciate that piece, to be honest with you, man. Because you look at enough clear casted pieces from the bottom and you see how beautifully fucking like glass like they are, but the moment that you add in any of the distortions of the like faces or features of the mold or the model of the original sculpt, it can really distort what's happening beyond that. And then you add on the fact that sometimes it almost has that marbled glass looking effect that you see like on a curling rink where it almost kind of fogs a little bit. And then you look at like those rainbow yawn pieces and you're like, the clarity, shit, yeah, fuck. You've got a whole skeleton in there that I can see. No problem. As clear as if I was looking at the bottom of a typical clear cast.
Super clear. You're right, dude. Super clear all over.
It doesn't matter if the sculpt has the pecs there, if it has the abs there, like you're seeing right through it to the glowing skeleton underneath.
It's impressive, man. It's super impressive. And that's what's funny when some people think about, it's like, oh, well, let's just mix it up and pour it in. And it's like, yeah, do that and then just see what it looks like. And then you'll understand about, you know, why we make a big deal about when something is super, super clear like that, because it's not easy to do. There's a method to it. You know, you don't just, and that's it.
I'm never laughing at the person, but it is always a bit comical to me the moment somebody's like either posts a picture of it or even says like, I don't know what happened, it just started foaming up, and you're like, acrylic paint? Yeah, I put a bit of acrylic paint in there and it just looks like a volcano, and you're always like, yeah, it hates water, resin. Dang. Right?
Yeah.
There was an artist at one point, they couldn't figure out their molds, I guess. Oh fuck, they were using an air compressor. And so anybody out there, this is a fun little small thing. It's just a small little thing. They're using an air compressor to blow out any additional resin from inside of their molds and just make sure there's no resin residue in there. But the issue was their hose wasn't hanging up. It had been sitting, and it was actually collecting water from the cold air and the difference in pressure. It was collecting water in the hose and sitting there. So when they would air pressure inside their molds, they were actually shooting water in there, like vapor in there.
The condensation, yeah.
They were basically now trying to cast in somewhere that was technically wet in areas. It was as simple as their hose just needed to be hung up, that it would be drying or drip drying and not allowing for that condensation to build into a moisture. Fuck.
Wow. That's crazy, man.
And casting something being like, I didn't have any water. Like, why is it bubbling? Why is it all?
Yeah, like what happened? And that's what's funny. I mean, I don't want to say it's funny, but learning moment, right? Like, oh shit. Like, and that's kind of what I like about the whole thing is when, you know, there is a lot of people who ask other people about, you know, make this, and we hear about it in the chats all the time. But then I think there's this other really cool part about it where you're just doing experimenting until you get it right. That's why I think that the gatekeeping doesn't even really fucking matter, because the way that people are so smart in this community, fine, don't tell me how to do it. I'm going to do it myself and figure out how to do it by just doing it repeatedly over and over and over again. Eventually I'm going to land on it. It might take me a little while and it might cost a little bit of money, but I'm going to land on it sooner or later. And then I'm going to fine tune that and really perfect it. So that's when that whole gatekeeping thing kind of goes out the window. And for me, if I was an artist and someone was gatekeeping shit, I'd be like, fine, don't tell me. I'm going to end up doing it better than you anyways. So just fine, keep your secrets to yourself. We'll figure it out. And from the most part, what I've seen is everybody here, when someone does something, it's not too long before other people are doing it, you know, or look
And
at,
then they share it. And so
and then
that's
they,
when
yeah,
I said it to a maker pretty early on, actually, one of the homies, when they were like, dude, like somebody's asked me about this. I don't know if I want to tell them. And I was point blank, and it's been my advice ever since to anybody who asked me about this. I'm like, if they can find it on the internet in 2 seconds and you're gonna look like an asshole for not telling them, just tell them. If it's not a secret sauce or some dumb shit like that that you feel honestly and truthfully separates you from everybody else because you've figured out this thing and they'll be able to go online and just find it, don't be a dick. Don't be an asshole. Just help them out. Save them the 10 steps.
yeah, exactly, dude. Just they're gonna land on it anyways.
Just
But
because you
yeah,
had to
I
suffer
agree.
doesn't mean everybody else should have to suffer and go through the same trials and tribulations to get where you are. If it
Yeah,
sucked to get where you are, maybe make it so it doesn't suck for somebody else. Right?
yeah, yeah,
Right.
exactly. Um, and no matter how you look at it, dude, I think there's legwork involved either way. You know, whether someone's telling you and you're applying it that way, or you're doing the research on your own and really grinding it out, or whatever it is.
It's not like they somebody just gave you the recipe and you turned around and went, "Oh, you're right, perfect bread."
Yeah, exactly. Like even if someone tells you how to do it, you still got to do it. You know what I mean? Like, how many times have you done something by the directions and it comes out fucked up and you're like, well, shit, I followed the directions. Well, maybe the directions are off and they need a little bit of tweaking based on, um, you know, moisture in the air, you know, little stuff like you said, moisture in the mold, or, you know, where you live, elevation. I know that's a thing. You know, I know that humidity is a thing. I know that cold is a thing. Um,
Dude, all like those make such a big difference. The amount of times that like, there's times in the year homies will be like, I can't paint right now because of the weather. I can't cast right now because of the weather. I can't. List goes on of environmental conditions that end up affecting. And we often forget that different parts of the world are actually having totally different seasons, right? It's super easy to remember, like, oh yeah, shoot, Titty is a day ahead of us, but it's like, and a whole season ahead, like, and
yeah,
then or 2 seasons ahead. When it's our winter, it's their summer. When it's our fall,
yeah,
it's their spring. Like they're always fully different weather conditions, right? So like
yeah,
all that comes into a factor, man.
yeah.
Insane.
You know, let me just back up and say something, dude. I don't think everybody has to be 100% open book about their process and what they do. I think there's a lot to be said for someone who, or an artist or a process or something, that they say, okay, well, here's kind of some of the material that I use, the process. I'm going to keep that a secret because that's something that I do and I think is unique to me and kind of separates me from the rest of the crowd. Um, and I think that has to be respected, right? Yeah, I think for a lot of people, they don't want to ask. Sometimes people are scared, but I think you know, we said it before that I think a lot of it is out of respect and like, hey, that's their thing, that's what they do. I'd love to do that. I'm going to find out on my own how to do it. Um, you know, I may ask them about it, or just when I run across something, see if they ran into this problem. But um, you know, oh, that's awesome.
Anytime we talk about like that secret sauce, I would say this artist in particular lives rent free in my brain. I was very new to the scene. I said, "Yo, I don't want to ask you about your secret sauce if it's wrong to ask, but out of curiosity, how do you get that goop effect?" And his response was, "Thanks." And what's funny is when I bring that up, if Fletch is still in the room, he'll say that he's been told the same thing. He's been like, "Yo, dude, like your work is sick. How do you do that goop effect?" And Homeboy's just like, "Thanks," and just ignores the question completely. He does not want to share his goop effect. I don't really blame him because as simple as it looks, and as much as my brain wants to pretend I might know how he's done that, like maybe it's hot glue and he's just fucking piled it on in ways and like fucking hit it with airbrushing. Maybe it's just poured over resin and he's gone over it with airbrushing. I really don't know. He doesn't want
Mm,
to share it, and I'm not about to bug him and probe him for it because it clearly, if I go up to the top here, it clearly has worked in his favor to not share what the fuck he's doing.
yeah,
That's totally fair, you know?
God,
I
those are
don't know
rad, dude.
exactly how he's getting that group effect. Some of you dudes that are watching this are going to be like, that's so simple and so easy. I could do that with these things too.
Bro,
This dude has,
70,000 followers. That is insane.
and I know for a fact that when I first stumbled on this guy like
Oh
three
my
years ago, he
God.
was probably at like that like 1,000, maybe creeping fast to that 5,000. I remember when he was at about 11,000. I wasn't even expecting the 70,000. So that's what I mean. It's like the honeycomb figures he make are so sick, dude. Like, and again, like it's like, okay, so you basically hit some dunnies and stuff with like a blowtorch, and then I'm lost from there. But any of his honey pieces I find are always so sick, dude.
Yeah, dude, those are great, dude. Damn.
He's got his thing. These blow my mind that they get so much love. Like again, like never, like whenever you guys are kind of like, I don't know how much to price my shit. I don't know if like someone's gonna like it. It's like this dude, like 1,181 likes on a spray painted black figure with gold marker taggings, 10 inches tall.
Yeah.
You never know what's gonna attract to people, man. Like,
Yeah, that's dope.
yeah. Anyways, he's somebody who lives rent free in my brain. Is when you ask them like, dude, what's the sauce for that? They're just like,
yeah. Thanks.
say nothing. Thanks. All right.
Strafe, thanks for coming in, my man. We will be chatting. Man, let's keep going, dude. So I have 2 more opens to show, and then the rest will be giveaways. You want to get through those real quick?
Spread those boxes. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah, let's see. All right, dude. So this one's gonna be feigned. This is one of those. Yeah, so I think this was, I'm almost positive. O'Keefe would know. I think this was a one-off. You think this is a fucking costume, is what that says there. And the figure, there's that. Dope, man. All black. And this collar right here, I thought it was really cool. Now it's on there. You can't take it off. But that is a Triclops, basically, eye band that you can twist around from Motu, which has different eyes with different kind of emotions on it, which is really cool. But yeah, dude. If anybody has any Fane stuff, this is right up Fane's alley. This does have an X with it too. Let me put that in.
That's a fun line, man. Every figure he's been doing from like that little series run lately is really fun.
Yeah, really cool. I think there were some blue ones of this, like some kind of a lighter blue teal.
Yeah, Uncle Spanky will have snagging one of those actually.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love the IG-88 head one.
Yes. Oh man,
gosh, the stance on that.
Yes,
so fucking sick, man.
Yes, and you know what's cool? You know what that, and maybe you know what figure it is, dude. I can't think of it at the moment, but that body and the legs he was telling me was it's from Ninja Turtles. It's a Ninja Turtle toy.
No way.
Yeah, and I can't remember exactly which one it is. But anyways, yeah, he does some rad shit, man. I think I told you at Assembly Required, he had the bags that he was giving away his stuff in. They were like these brown bags, but it had like legit, I don't even know how to explain it, dude. It was like a name Fane, but I'll have to show it sometime, man. It's sick. It's really sick. I was like, damn, dude, you went all out even on your bags. But this was a cool piece here, man. I didn't know that it was going to come with this on it, which I thought was really cool when it showed up. I thought that was sick, especially with the colors on the back. But yeah, man, Fane 6x9 carded. Love that blister that you can open.
I was about to say, man, we've talked about that before. Like those blisters are not cheap, man.
They're not. They really aren't. And I would think that they're buying them in bulk. But as far as a display goes, and for a collector, I mean, I think that one's ideal. You can either hang it up or take it out and display it. And man, dude, I've seen more and more and more. I would say the majority of carded figures I'm buying now are like this style. Bubble may not be necessarily on the right hand side, might be in the center or off center a little bit, but the majority of them are this kind of clear open clamshell type deal. Sick. Birds are singing here. All right, there, Bliss. Have a good one, my man.
he said that, and I know every single person in the room has had one of those nights before where you're sitting there and you start hearing the fucking birds up there, and you're like, if I don't go to bed now, like I'm pulling an all-nighter. Like you're looking at the clock, seeing the time you have available to sleep, just slowly getting smaller and smaller, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah. You know what, dude? I saw something the other day and I thought it was super interesting because it was just something about those specific birds that you hear in the morning and kind of what that, when you hear those, what it does to your brain, as far as it signaling like, hey, it's morning time, and that just kind of being like a universal thing. Which I thought was cool, man. Like it does signal the beginning of the morning, but there's something that's kind of like oddly comforting about it. I don't know.
You want? Okay, so I'm gonna hit you with weird plant knowledge for a second here, because technically, in order to do a controlled study, it's near impossible to actually do a controlled study to see if music actually affects the growth of plants. But there's two contributing factors that we do know 110% do play a factor in plants. One, super low frequencies actually cause a vibrational pattern that can cause micro tears in the actual fibers of the roots, which encourage them to actually grow more rapidly and larger while repairing that damage. The other is that just like you're talking about birds, the frequency will actually do things for our brains. The buzzing of bees and the calling of birds at that early morning actually signals for plants to begin opening up their pistons a little bit earlier than when the sun begins rising, so that they're ready and able to take in sunlight before the sun's even at its maximum height. So music technically doesn't actually help plants grow, but playing music in particular frequencies can actually cause environmental changes, such as root tears and encouraging pistil opening.
I did not know that. That's crazy. I bet people didn't think they were going to learn that tonight.
Also, trippy as all fuck. When I first moved down here, Peter was like, how trippy is it to you that the birds don't make bird noises here? They make car alarm noises. And I was like, pardon? And I didn't pick up on it at first, because the reality is that a bunch of the birds here that would normally end up like mimicking the sounds they hear around them, they sound like they're trying to mimic car alarms. But the issue is that when you hear a car alarm going, suddenly like you realize you're like, that's really one dimensional. That's not a car alarm. That's a bird. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But it'll just be going like weird chirping of car alarm noises.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Speaking of frequencies, dude, I know you've seen this before. Like when they have they put like a bunch of sand like on like and there's some like music vibration under and it starts making these patterns. What the fuck is that, dude?
Dude, people love doing that kind of shit. It's like visual optics with sound, and like realistically, there's organs that essentially like they'll send oxygen, and it basically causes flames to dance at the top of the organ. There's slime that you can put on like upside or turned up on their side subwoofers that the slime bounces. Like, oh man, yeah. People love
Skilled ones.
birds, dude.
Skilled one says Amazonian birds have learned to make chainsaw noises and heavy machinery noises. I believe that, dude. My dad and my stepmom have an African gray parrot, and they've had it forever, dude. And that thing, it's crazy, dude. It says stuff that my dad says to my stepmom when he walks in the door. It makes, you know, on an iPhone, it has that one text alert that's like a bird tweeting. Perfectly. It mimics that perfectly. It's a trip, dude.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. It's crazy. You're sitting there and I'm looking at my phone and I'm like, and I just changed the thing, of course, but it's weird. They're very, very smart.
Dude, honestly, parrots are almost too smart for their own good, dude. I've heard things that like they'll start ripping out their own feathers if like their environment isn't to their liking, or if like routine changes up and shit. They'll just like start like becoming naked and stressed out and ripping all their feathers out and shit. Like,
yeah,
that's too much for me, man. I'm
yeah,
sorry, they're adorable. It's crazy that their brains work that way. And so what's tripping me is like they've even been trying to see like things like parrots and stuff. It's like, oh, are they saying back to us what we're telling them to say, or are they actually learning these words and recognizing like what imagery goes with these words? And they do, and fuck that. Anyway.
Look at Jazz Wizard, dude. Most useful thing I learned from 3-1 Contact is to put a person's silhouette cardboard cutout on a train set by the window, and it looks like someone is walking around.
You get the reference, right?
3-2-1 contact, man. 3-2-1 contact is an old one. I remember that one. That one was like, I believe that was a PBS. It was either PBS or KQED that had that on. It was like in that block of Sesame Street. 3-2 contact. 3-2-1 contact. I always felt like when I was a kid, when I saw that, that was like for the older kids. You know what I mean? Like if I was watching, I'm like, this is what the big kids watch. Anyways, man. So getting back to this freaking Barrio Boba, Darth Vato. If you're looking for one of those, really, really cool. It's a double cast. He did cast the candy inside it and dropped it in head. It's dope. They learned that from Home Alone.
That's what the sad thing is. That's all I could picture was the stupid.
Yeah, it was the Michael Jordan silhouette, right? Isn't that funny? Classic. That's a good one. So let's see. One more open. This one I've been waiting on for a while, man. He actually sent it right away, so I wasn't waiting on the piece for a long time. I was just waiting to get a piece from this artist for a while. They did a drop recently, and I don't know if there was any pieces left. But this is from Rainbow Kiss. Let's. So here's the little card art for it. It just came with this little header. The guy's name is Masked Bad Guy. Tangerine Supreme was the name of this one because it's orange and it's got some painted details on it. But dude, for a 3.75, oh man, yes, it's great.
That's a good one, man. That might be one of my favorite figures out there right now, dude. I love that sculpt. It's very nostalgic to me, and I love the name for it.
Yes,
Bad Guy. That's hilarious.
Masked Bad Guy. Yeah, and it's the paint detail on there, dude. The red eyes, super cool and cheap. I mean, these were cheap.
Yeah, Pocket Salsa was telling me that they were very affordable. One Trick Pony was saying that they were actually like really ridiculously priced. Dude, they're a sick figure. Shout out to Bliss Receptor for catching that. That's actually a Chat May figure for anybody who's curious about what that figure is. That's Chat May. I believe it was actually, oh goodness, what's his name now? He does figures sold separately, and he also did the Cave Dweller Toys. Was saying that you can actually still get a lot of the Chat May stores in some of the US dollar stores. You can still find Chat May.
Oh, nice. And you know what, dude? I think we even talked about this. Lab Monkey 9 was selling like a huge lot of those for like $20. And it was like 40 that, dude. It was a ton, but look at Mr. Ordinary. Mr. Ordinary. That's funny, man. But this is cool. So you know what's even cooler, dude? So check this out. So that's the one that I got. And then have them, yes. So I bought this one. And then he sends these two for giveaways. Yeah. So we're not going to give these away this week or next week on the show for the 1 year. We're not going to give away, but we are going to give this away. This is dope, man. So this is all hand sculpted on there. And like, tell me right now that that's not Steve Casino shit. You know what I mean? It really looks to me like Steve Casino shit. And you know what that guy does. I mean, that's like a legit, he's like a Hollywood person now. You know what I mean? Like people know that dude. But that's dope, man. That's going to be a giveaway. That was free from Rambo Kiss. So thank you, Mikey, for that. Dope, man. Really, really cool. Hand sculpted and painted on there, dude. Check that out, man.
I was about to say, man, I love just like I geek out on process video shit. I loved seeing the one of that showing him actually sculpt those on there. It's like, oh yeah. Fuck, man, you get to see like how much work really goes into fucking building up that figure on top of those cars, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Eddie, what's up, man? Yeah, dude. So this is actually Rambo Kiss, man. It looks very, that's what I'm saying. It has that kind of Steve Casino look, but this is Rambo Kiss, and he does have more of these. This is actually series 4 on these. So if you go back a while, these have been out for a minute now. But
when we first stumbled on his account, I think it was around like F is for Frankenstein, and he had just started doing some of the car work stuff.
Yeah. Nice.
Time flies, we're having fun.
Yeah. And Jazz, I agree, and Resin Blood too, and Eddie. Yeah, Steve Casino, his stuff is just fucking, that dude stuff is off the charts, man. Some of those like pole toys that he makes, like those old school toys where like kids are pulling them along and they're like moving as the wheels are going. Those are insanely cool, dude. I would love to own one of those one day, but the price tag on those are not cheap.
Like
so that was all I had as far as open. Rest of this stuff is giveaway stuff that is going to go next week.
Yes.
Here's one. Now this is from Mr. Titty Beans himself. This is a 3.75 They Live figure. Yep, that was a series of 18 on that. They Live, We Sleep. Really nice red and blue marble on there. Take a look at that. Super nice, man. Magnetic on the head, static on the legs, Glyos on the arms. Dope, man. I love that combo with the Glyos on the arms. It really makes display really easy. You don't have to worry about anything sticking together. But yeah, that's a nice one. And then with the gun as well. Sick.
That shotgun's fatty.
It is, dude. I really like that weapon. And you know, when you get stuff from him, he usually includes extra weapons. And in the Patreon, there's usually a weapons pack. And I was very happy to see that there was a couple different colored of these shotguns in there. But you're right, that's a newer weapon for him. Sick, man. Really cool. So that will be going as well. Somebody will win that. And you know what? Maybe with this, maybe we'll even include a little pack of bubble gum. All right. Anyways, so there's that.
Took my brain a split second there. Like it literally was kind of like bubble gum. Oh, fuck off. You know, like it was like my brain had to go through the motions for a second.
God, I just thought of something else that we're giving away that is not here, and I can't remember what it was. Man, it was in my brain and left real quick what it was. So I don't have this in hand yet. It just got sent out today. But if anybody recalls the pink, maybe you can bring it up on screen, man. I hate to drop that on you right away, but there was a pink Quackula that Healy came out with maybe 3 weeks ago. Something like that, all pink, nice bubblegum Quackula. We will be giving one of those away. Those were on his site for I think not very long, and I thought they had sold out, but he did have some extra, and I hit him up about one today, and he said he'd be more than happy to put one in the box, and he sure did.
One of these guys here. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. Fuck's sake.
I was going to say, I don't know exactly what you're looking at. It just says Google.
The old Google Doogle. Now I was on the right place. On the right place. Yeah, right?
Yep, there you go. Yep. Oh, that's right. It was the Easter. It was the Easter drop. Yeah.
But you were right 3 weeks ago. You fucking weirdo.
So that is, you know what's really cool about that one too, man. I don't have it in front of me. We'll show it next week, of course, but he did a really art in it, and it's like that foil stamping that says Quackula, like multicolored. It's sick. I took mine out of the packaging because I'm displaying it with all the other ones, but It's one that I would have been more than happy to leave in the bag because that header is so cool. And it's got that really kind of matte black finish, like where you're even afraid to touch it, dude, because you think you're going to leave prints on it. But it's classy, dude. It's it's a sharp looking piece for sure. So anyway, so that'll be that. We're going to do that. We're going to give that away. The other Healy piece that we're going to give away is this last Raider. I'm sorry, not Raider, but Assassin that he came out with. That was the one. Now he's doing that same colorway in a couple different figures, and he kind of pre-released them, not pre-released them, but he showed what was going to be coming down the line in the next few weeks, and this was one of them, and he released this one already. This goes back to that colorway that he did with the Raiders originally, that was that dark purple. So this is kind of a play on that. I'm not going to open it, but that one was from, I'm not sure when this one came out. I want to say it's probably close to a month and a half ago. We're going to be one of those. Eddie's saying he's going to have a tat shop at every show that he goes to. That is a great idea, bro. If you think about that, you could probably make back whatever money you're spending on hotels and whatnot, just with a few tats, dude. That'd be great. That's a great idea, man. I know that the designer cons and stuff that I've been to where Eddie's been there, he's done tats on people. And it's really a cool thing, dude, because it's kind of a little buzzy thing where people kind of start chatting like, oh, hey, I heard that blah, blah, blah is getting tatted by Eddie tonight, you know, and it's cool, man. Eddie is a freaking legend, dude. And I will have a tattoo from Eddie one day. So yeah, cool, man. You should definitely do that. Yeah, shadow colorway. Thank you, PK Mates. He's buying a Winnebago soon and driving to all the toy shows. Wow. Holy smokes, that's crazy, man. All right, Zimit, take care of Zimit Co. We got a dope Zimit Co box we're gonna open next week. It did come, but it just we're gonna do it next week. So we got 2 more giveaways we're gonna do.
So we're doing, we're gonna show off for next week.
I'm sorry. You're right. We're gonna show off, and then we'll do the last one. Our time's not that bad, dude. It feels like we've been going for longer than almost 3. It's almost 3.
It's almost the end of that 3. Hey, before I forget though, I want to make sure to show this off here.
Yes.
I feel like I'm going to lose track of it. Terrible Toy Works was kind enough. They were talking earlier about the coffins. They actually use like a satin finish and the matte finish, and I wanted to make sure to show that off because they were kind enough to fire me over a picture showcasing the differences in the finishes here that they have on their coffin pieces. And it's pretty striking, man.
It is.
What a difference you can get.
Wow.
With, I don't want to say with that simple application because that's a pain in the ass to actually apply that to all of them, but it yields great results.
Yeah. That's dope.
They seem to be like they kill it on those tiny little details, man. They bump the lamp. I think we've talked about that before, like artists that just really bump the lamp. I think they really bump the lamp hard.
Yeah, that's dope, man. So another piece that we're going to give away going to be Cyber State from Barbarian Rage. That was a series of 20. And Scott was just to put this in the mail and send us a nice box of treats, man. So be going out. This is a really cool piece. It's like fine print on the back, right? Like the stuff that nobody ever reads, and that's so small. I don't know if you can read it. You might be able to, but so the Barbarian Rage piece that'll be going out. Thank you again, Scott, for that, dude. It was very generous. And speaking of Barbarian Rage, this other one is just going to be a little pack. And it came with issue 1 and issue 2 of Barbarian Rage from Red King Comics. So somebody will be getting that. And also with the comic books, We have the Stinkor air freshener, which is awesome. And a couple packs of Barbarian Rage cards. So that'll be a Barbarian Rage giveaway tomorrow or next week. I mean, that's a fat package for that. So 2 Barbarian Rage giveaways. We do have some other Barbarian Rage stuff to give away down the road because he sent so much stuff. So, yeah, Cyber Satan's are sick. I agree. So the last thing that we're going to show, and it's kind of like, dude, I would say if we had like a grand prize, I would say this would be the grand prize. This is from Terrible Work. He's in the room. Brother. It's amazing, dude. It's amazing. And what's even doper about it is that it's exclusive to Toys Alive. And it's exclusive to our colors. And it was made specifically for our show. Which is, dude, I was blown away, by the generosity of Terrible Toy Works. It really is incredible work, dude. I was extremely humbled when he sent that. I really couldn't believe what I was opening, man. If you've ever opened a package from Terrible Toy Works, it is an event. Like you could record that and probably post it and people would go wild because it really is an event, man. It's they're dope pieces. The packaging is superb, second to none, and I mean that wholeheartedly. And dude, for someone to make a piece like this for us for this show, it's just, I think the world of that dude and his company, and it's just it's very, very cool to be able to give one of these to somebody. So here we go. If everybody remembers the Terrible Spectre piece that they came out with, those are absolutely dope, dude. Those are some of my favorite pictures I think I've ever done. Every single one of those pieces looks super, super sick. And what he came up with for the giveaway, dude, is it's not this exact one. Okay, so the exact one is here. That's it. There's no way in hell I'm going to open that before somebody gets it. That is up to you. It is an absolute treat to open this thing. You're going to love it. But this is what it is, man. Terrible Spectre in Toys Alive colors. It's pink and blue. It glows. It's freaking phenomenal. This is the base for it. The purple and gold, the gold headstone. It's crazy, man. Terrible Toy Works, dude. I'll never be able to thank that dude enough for this one. That's phenomenal. Yowza, dude. And I'll thank him again, dude. This is my copy of this. He sent me one of these as well. And that is, I don't know, man. It's a beauty, dude. Absolute beauty. God, dude, the gold paint on the eyes too. If you can see, freaking beautiful. There you go, man. Toys Alive Terrible Spectre for the 1-year anniversary. God.
Yeah, you summed it up lovely, man. It's a wild piece. The legs, like the skeleton leg, even poking through on the bottom of the dress there is sick as fuck. So.
I'm glad you caught that, dude. And I don't know what it is about this piece, dude. I think if I thought long enough and hard enough about it, I'd be able to articulate it in a way that made sense. But this piece to me, no matter what color it's in, is so visually appealing. It doesn't matter to me what color it's in. I think it's rad as fuck that it's in our show colors, which is awesome. The colors alone are cool.
The fucking gravestone is insane. Little cherry.
And I don't think the light will pick it up in here, dude, but there's a lot of glitter in there in the bottom. which is
toy
cool.
dudes, man.
So fresh, dude.
What a cool fucking base. Feels silly saying it because it's the base, but damn, that thing's fucking.
Yeah, dude. And so you look at it as a set, and it's just like, look how that gold pops against the purple and the blue and the pink, man. So that'll be fun to give away. That'll be really fun to give away.
Oh cows.
And then, like I said, dude, that's the packaging right there, dude. It does,
Wild.
If you have one of these, it's this, that this is that wooden box, which I mean, it would make a great display on its own. Yeah. Anyways, man, thank you again, Terrible Toy Works, dude. Holy smokes, that will be a fun one. And that, my friend, will probably put a cap on the giveaway show. We'll probably post more of these during the week just to kind of keep everybody up to speed on what it is, and what we're doing. So next week will be fun. It'll be a fun show. Plus, we got some really good opens next week too, man. Some really, really good ones.
They're always good ones, man. Yo, I'm gonna do a quick little tab fly through if that's groovy.
Yes.
Nothing too insane in there tonight, but there's some fun guys in there. I wanted to make sure that we hit Duke and McFartsniffle, man. One of the longtime homies. This is a killer piece. Saw them post this up 3 hours ago, basically right before we started the show. And I wanted to make sure we gave us a little 11, man.
No, he made a little gang of those, right? I saw a picture where
they make a gaggle. There's a whole gaggle.
Yeah. Nice.
Just been putting that work in, dude. They're definitely looking fucking good. I also want to give a shout out Underland Cosmic Studios with the new fucking dope Cosmic Drop Bear pins.
Dope.
15. Now I know this is a little out of the ordinary, but I know a lot of our homies love burgers, and Dan Hero doesn't often do full sets and runs of things, but it looks like we're gonna be getting a little burger run. So if anybody's down with some wooden carved Dan Hero burgers, get on that train. The Groovy Art Cream Social. This is actually one that Has Been Toys was talking about last week, and he ended up shooting me that link.
Ooh.
These guys here, Children of Scud available.
Yeah.
And then it looks like he's actually been casting up these weird little guys, Mecha Scudgarians.
Those are cool, man. I like
think
those.
They're all unique.
They are. They all look like one-offs.
Yeah, it looks like, I'm wondering if he throws different pieces into the mold and casts them into the casting. Maybe he puts them on afterwards and glizzies them up. I'm not sure.
Oh, that's a trip, dude. What is that?
Well, there's a lot happening with these dudes.
Yeah, there is. I'm looking at nuts and bolts, right?
And then these are the black tar Scudgarians. And these ones all have different variations of teeth in them.
Oh, wow. Pocket Salsa, eat your heart out, my friend.
Yo, Pocket Salsa grabbed a sick as fuck Moya Koya toy piece the other day. Tank with teeth, with a fucking cyclopean monster on a crazy shit. For some reason this counts out of the 1000, but I wanted to give a quick little moment in celebrating some 3D prints, because we talk about it quite often about how in just even a few years, resin printers and shit have become exponentially better and better and better. And some of the sculpts that we're seeing, man, they're wild.
That is awesome, dude. I love the motion in that shit.
It's just crazy to me. This is what first caught my eye, is this little critter. Because it's like, shit, man.
Yeah.
But like very few, like if any, layer lines. And I don't know if that's them wet sanding the shit out of it, but like look at the textures on that head, considering this is a 3D print.
That's crazy, dude. No, where are they from?
I unfortunately see translation. Not sure. D20 resin smooth 3D printer, illegal Mars 3D printer, Loot Studios, and the sculpture by Chagas Danilo. Fuck, dude. I didn't think we'd see 3D printers hitting this point so fast.
Yeah, you're right, dude. The smoothness of that is
And then this guy, I know I've shown you this artist before
Crazy.
because the intricacy that this artist goes about is
Mhm.
wild to me, man. These are like some like Gundam level fucking sculpts and things.
Mm.
I can't really get over where like wild.
Mm.
And then of course we were looking earlier at Neon Strikers again. What else we got going on here tonight? Cool toys. So we're hopping 99 under 1,000. Dude, I love those colors. These like just
I like those.
base
I like
white.
those. Did they make those dice?
I don't think they. Wow, maybe they do. I would assume the dye are just some dye they have, but maybe they are casting them some
Yeah.
dice. As if that's what caught your eye in this beautiful pile of dope ass fucking
Yes.
shit. Jeez. Now we've talked about this artist a few times. Hackon Collectibles, man.
Yeah.
They always seem to have a whole bunch of shit made.
Oh, so they were at ToyCon UK, man. Dude, there was a lot of cool shit at ToyCon UK, man. I might have to pay somebody to go swoop some stuff up for me next year. There was some really cool stuff there, man. Some great artists there too.
Now, admittedly, I think I pulled this page up before as well for the Vaders even. But I like every now and then just revisiting some of like the pages that celebrate legitimate bootlegs, like vintage bootlegs out there, man. I love seeing like, look at these wild ass fucking colors of the fucking Lukes. Now I know these are actually two different ones that have been split, like or four, I guess. But even so, like imagine just having a fucking pink and blue Luke Skywalker black hair.
So what are we looking at, man? Is this a what website or what account is this?
This here is 5 Star Wars Saw. So they're vintage Polish Star Wars bootlegs.
Look at that Yoda, dude. And these guys are just collect them?
This is someone who collects vintage Polish bootlegs, yeah. But
Wow,
like
dude.
this is what I love, man. And especially like, I think it's important when we're often looking at Inee.Toys and kit bashes and bootlegs to celebrate like where some of these original ideas and like where this scene kind of even started from is weird shit like this.
Yeah.
And like, dude, like you were saying that Yoda, right? It's like, yeah, excuse me. Why is that out there? It's just fun. It's really fun for me to see these bootleg. Like, damn, dude. Then again, you look at like what some of the homies are making, and you're like, yeah, no doubt. This like, fuck, dude. These Zarkas.
Dude, those are so and they are so expensive.
Yeah, yeah. It is really funny. I think I've shared with you before. Like, there'll be like somebody will have a picture on their counter with like a napkin. It'll be like one of these, dude. Price
Yeah.
1,000, no budging.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
just
Yes.
like,
And people are all over it. I'm like, where
yeah.
is the market for this stuff, dude? That's crazy. Hey, one thing before the I lose the chat, I did want to say something about so Rosenblatt's talking about his Winnebago. Says the license plate could say the pressure is on, which is awesome. And then Nim Studio says that he's looking forward to the classic Winnebago. Dude, okay, a reality show called Eddie's Winnebago. Eddie
Winnebago.
cruising across the country, doing shows, doing tats on the road. That's a winner. Somebody buy that idea from me.
So it's perfect. If anything, we've got a show for Eddie during the on season and a show for Eddie for the off season. When it's toy resin like bootlegging season, he's on the road at the Winnebago. And when he's at home, we've got him on the 24-hour live channel in the toy session and the basement and the tattoo parlor, catching all of those crazy antics too. And before we know it, we just have all 12 months covered, man. 6 months of the
There you
year on the
go.
road, 6 months in the year, he's fucking sipping sodas, painting figures, whipping up bootlegs. All those 10 things we saw him doing last interview at once, all the time.
Resin on the road. Yeah, dude. Terrible Toy Works says he binge it. The more I talk about it, Eddie, the more I think that would work, bro. Like straight up, I think that would work. Eddie is one of those guys, larger than life, just larger than life, man. He is a character, just a heart of gold from that dude. It's so funny. I think one of the funniest things about him is how a lot of people say, "Oh, I wouldn't go up to Eddie," or I didn't go up to Eddie, and it's like, just do it though, dude. Like you'll be so surprised, and you'll be so pissed at yourself that you didn't do it sooner. But what a great dude! He's extremely funny. I think that would be a great show, dude. That would be something. If he doesn't do that, which I don't think will be a show, but lots of posts from the road, man. That'll be great. Looking forward to that. That'll be
I'll be
cool.
honest, for whatever reason, I'm curious what he's munching on the road. I want a whole show just taking pics, a whole IG account of just what he's snacking on the road, man. I want to see all the good eats.
That would be great. That'd be great.
The very last tab that I have to share tonight, and I
Yeah.
can't not share it, because it's our boy Jimmy Folklore. If you didn't see the
Yeah.
post, they had some May 4th posts up today. The Warsh be with you.
Yeah.
Worcester figures.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the bendy chewies.
Oh yeah, look at the arms, dude. Yellow.
I wanted to make sure to give them that little shout out there. 25. Boom, yes. Figures are available from Folklore Industries for 25. And of course, they've got the two broids out now too.
Yeah, and the blue E1. And then the next
The
blue-
Indigo.
yeah, those were giveaways on our show.
Oh, jeez, friggin' Louise.
Yeah, dude,
I don't
we gave
remember
those
anything
away.
at all.
Yeah, we gave those away. And I remember the story being with those is that now if you really want to find some nuggets and stuff like that from Star Wars, these are the figures for you. I remember him telling me that there was a lot of funny stuff in these figures that have to do with the movie. So I think people that are hardcore Star Wars people will probably get a lot of that stuff. And it's funny that there's a new one, dude. I saw the that green one today and was like, perfect. Even the name, welcome to the world of, is it Worcester or Worcester? And I think that debate right there was one of the reasons that they chose that name, because it's pronounced a couple different ways. So really cool, man.
I really love Yellow God, Old Yellow, Young Yellow. I can't wait to see what those are going to be.
Ah, man. Yeah, very good. That was cool. Wooster. Yeah, Pockets also says Wooster. Oh, Carolina Cool Cat won the Indigo. Yeah, nice.
There you go, man.
Right on. That's cool.
Thanks for Jimmy's post today. It's exquisite. Fuck.
Did you have a piece to show?
I do have a piece here, actually. Check this shit out. I think you might have one of these as well. I know that there's a few of them in the scene, man, unfortunately, but a nostalgia piece. Now, actually, he's currently wearing a Rainbow Yawn cape, but there's a nostalgia piece. And it's been a hot minute, actually, since I've taken one of these apart. So I'm a little in my head about it, if I'm being totally honest, because I'm trying to remember the exact process to take it apart so I don't break him. But what I love is that all the pieces are actually interchangeable, and like I know that's something that they try and like point out about their figures. So like, for instance, that's a Glyos peg, and it comes with extra boots. So if I wanted this dude to wear like orange boots, he's got some extra boots right here. And I believe it came with extra hands as well. So like the boots actually match his little vest. The vest comes off, hollow body.
Nice.
Yeah, dude, it's actually like a really sick, well put together piece. Now, there's a lot of things that I feel like they're trying to work out. Like, for instance, I know that they were really in their head about how the waistband was clasping together at the time. But an absolutely ballin' figure, man. The blade even comes out, so you can swap out your blade colors if you want. The hand pieces come out, so like I've got orange hands sitting over there as well. The head actually swaps out because of it being the hollow body. The head actually has like a peg joint in there, so when you separate those, you can actually take that off. Yeah, just a sick figure, man.
It is.
Nostalgia.
Nostalgia. Yeah. That is an artist I don't have anything from.
It's tough because they're one of those artists that are so focused on putting out like the absolute perfection that we don't see them do many drops. But they are prepping for one right now, and I know that they've been building up like a big repertoire of like beast feet and like monster hands, and so they're gonna have almost like a nod to Skeletor and also like a nod to He-Man as well.
Nice. That's very cool. Yeah.
What
Skilled
you
One
got?
says great piece. You know what, man? I did not do a today is May the 4th. I don't think we brought that up one time today, man.
We really didn't, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And I didn't do except for the post that we showed that people were alluding to May the 4th. I didn't do a May the 4th post today. I don't think I posted anything today, as a matter of fact. I was just busy as shit. But the one piece that I did want to show, actually, I'll show because they're right next to each other. You know what? I'm not going to do that one because I showed that one recently. So this one that I'm going to do, I don't think I ever did a post on this one, dude. I do need a post on it. But this is one, from the homie Yuck, dude. This piece, when he came out with this, the Vader piece. Dope, man. I think I have almost everything that Yuck has done. This is probably my favorite one, dude. I love this one. It's a great look. Really cool piece. Really cool paint on there.
That's a pretty big flex, actually. Yuck doesn't drop too much, man. The fact you managed to nab one of everything he's dropped. Whew.
Almost. I'd have to see his whole catalog of what he had there, and I think I have a good amount. So I think I have it all. But yeah, dude, dope little piece, dude. Love that one from Yuck 'Em Up. Bam. May the 4th be with you, my friend. There it is.
That's a goodie, man. Good grab. And it just flows so well, too.
Yeah.
Jazz Wiz, when the fuck was that one? Snooze, you lose, homie.
Yeah, that was an older one. Robert Bloom says it's now officially Cinco de Drinko. Yeah, so it is now Cinco de Mayo. In a bunch of other, on the East Coast, everybody that I had, we're still at 9:15 here. So here's something funny that's about that. So Cinco de Mayo is obviously the total white version of Mexican Independence Day. That's totally not what it is. It's not the right day. It's just something that I think a lot of people out here use as a day off. And it's funny that it lines up with Safety Week this year, because almost every job site tomorrow is having a barbecue, and almost every single one of them is a taco truck. And I'm just like, man, you guys really thought outside the box on this one, didn't you? Cinco de Mayo, taco truck. No, I have no problem with that because I'm going to tear the shit out of that thing. But it's just fun, man. Cinco de Mayo Friday. It's going to be a good one. Everybody's going to be in a great mood. I'm looking forward to that. So happy Cinco de Mayo, man.
You too.
Jazz Wiz says it's Revenge of the 5th. Yeah, that's you know what, which reminds me, I think Return of the Jedi is back in the theaters. I don't know if that's nationally or if it's just at my local theater here, but they're playing Return of the Jedi, the OG one, from until I think Monday. So I might stop in and see that this weekend because I've never seen it before, you know.
For anybody who, and some of you would have actually been there, but for anybody who's never seen the original as it would have been aired in theaters, Star Wars, you can actually find online downloadable. Fans have taken the original reel from the very first Star Wars and the third Star Wars, and they basically put them into 4K, and so you can enjoy them before George Lucas completely fucking butchered them to VHS. And it's insane how beautiful some of those scenes really are when you get the entirety of them, man. It's weird how like even sometimes like 1 second or being panned out instead of being super like fucking panned, like zoomed in on like a small section of the screen, you're seeing a movie you've seen 100 times and all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, there was that much happening in this scene, and like they cut that much of this, and like they zoomed in that much, or do yourselves a favor.
Yeah.
Check it out, man. It's like you're watching it for the first time ever again. And it really, like, in my opinion, first time I ever saw them, I went, I get it now. I've always loved Star Wars. I've always kind of felt like it was great, but you don't really understand like the grandeur of it, like why like all the older generations were like, you gotta love Star Wars, you gotta watch it. And then you see how it aired in theaters originally in 4K, and you're like, oh shit, I get why you guys fell in love with this shit. This was dope.
Yeah, no kidding, dude. That's funny, dude. Folklore says no spoilers. Return of the Jedi. I'll try not to ruin it for you.
Right.
But here's something, dude. You're talking about like seeing stuff for the first time, and you kind of understand what it is. I have a friend that lives in San Francisco who has a relative that works at Skywalker Ranch, which is out in the Bay Area. And he has his own private theater out there. It's a legit concrete building because of the acoustics in that building. But for the Revenge of Skywalker movie, I got to go with it to that theater and watch it in that theater, Skywalker Ranch, and it's crazy, dude. The acoustics in there and the screen is in there. I think he's got stacked each side of the screen, and the seats are like this, almost like this crushed velvet sink into, that has the appearance of being really old, but it's like the oldest, most comfortable chair you could ever find in your life. That is every seat in that theater out there. And it's crazy, dude. You're right. It gives the movie a whole new look, and you start to appreciate it a little bit more, and you're like, oh shit, yeah, that is dope. That's it.
For the live chats is coming there. It's funny, Folklorian is saying you've been going to the drive-in since '78 and you still haven't gotten laid, because admittedly, as soon as Jazzwiz said he saw Star Wars for the first time at a drive-in in Winchester at KY in 1978, I just pictured one of these. Just big grin on his face, watching it, just
oh, that's funny. Dude, we still have the Sazmac giveaway.
We still have a beautiful Sazmac 3.75 giveaway, Jacked Chewy.
Dude, I forgot about that.
I didn't forget about that.
It's a great one, dude. I love this guy. I think it's like Glyos articulation in the art. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to pull it apart. Sazmac, you'll have to tell us if that's Glyos or not on there. But the paint work is just extraordinary. Very good.
I like that, dude. He reminds me of almost like a cola. Oh, babies are gross. Yeah, yes. Good call, Folklore. No, sorry. Natural habit.
Did you say you at the word baby?
Not the word baby, the concept of one existing in your home.
Oh boy. Oh man, that's funny.
So I did remove Sazmac off of the old giveaway here. Yeah, Skilled One, I'm with you, dude. Cola Boy Glowly. Is he glowy?
What?
Ooh, root beer gummies. Dude, I'm not even a big root beer gummy fan, but now I kind of want that. I'm not even hungry right now, but I'm craving the chew. Did anybody get that chew factor sometimes where you just want that mouth feel? You just want to be chewing on something?
Yeah, I don't have that. I'm hungry as shit. I'll tell you that.
All right. If you haven't, if you guys haven't shouted out the names, please shout it out. And I'm sorry, man, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. What you got?
Oh, I was just saying that there's no glow on this, but it is like a translucent. Yeah, I would say root beer gummy is pretty darn close to what that is. But sick piece, man. Brock, thanks for coming in, my dude.
Mecha Ducky, it's funny that you say Crumbs was born right away a man, because I was pretty young when I started rebuttaling to the response of I brought you into this world, I can take you out of it, with hopefully not the same way I came in.
Man.
Can you imagine dying that way? What a terrible way to go.
Yeah.
So again, if you guys aren't seeing your name on the wheel, The old Wonder Wheel, please chime in. Resin Blood, we did actually naturally just add you in there because we knew you were probably watching it. You're always chilling, homie.
Yep.
Dylan Clement, Kajiki, Daniel, Antil, Von Fake Name, Death and Strawberries, James Arson. Those are the last couple that I've kind of fired on here. So if you guys don't see yourself on the wheel, please chime in. Alrighty, and we're giving it a spin for that 3.75 chunky chewy. I don't know why I went with that. Tropical fruit bowl flavor. Why does the bowl have to be in the flavor profile?
Yeah, odd.
Strife 7.
Strife.
The Wonder Wheel knows, man. But Dre's, those do sound delicious. And you know we do like talking candies, homie. So thank you for that. I had a Charleston chew the other day. I shit you guys not. Okay, so I go down to a Dollar Tree in order to try and find some fucking Final Faction figures. Didn't find those. Decided to get a snack. I see a Charleston chew on the corner of my eye. I'm like, damn, don't see those too often. Grab one. I kid you not, bite into it. Just snaps. Just snaps right there like broken glass. You're like, all right, a little old, a little stale, no problem. You're chewing it. It's getting its groove going. Get to the bottom of it. It literally was just like all white. It was almost like this thing had melted at some point and then like coagulated and re-solidified, and like all this white melted shit was all up the back. You're like trying to rip it. The paper's getting all over it. You're like, fuck it. It's just wax paper. I'm chewing through it. Weird though. Weird experience. Weird Charleston chew.
Yeah, I have a feeling that the person that you bought that from was probably said the same thing that you did. Don't see that in a long time. You don't see those very often. Charleston chew, was it chocolate vanilla? Just classic?
Vanilla. It was the vanilla.
Yeah, there you go. Nice. Very nice.
Oh.
Who was that? Oh, Dre, dude, if you are a Jelly Belly fan, if you are like hot on Jelly Bellies, let me know, bro. The Jelly Belly factory is damn near in my backyard. It's very close to me, bro. I actually applied for a job out there back in the day, and didn't get it, thank God. It would have been a great job because they really take care of their people out there. But yeah, dude, I've been on that Jelly Belly tour more times than I'd like to admit. It's a really cool tour. It gets they never change it. It's always the same. But I mean, you'll leave with a shitload of jelly beans and jelly rats and all kinds of shit, man.
Oh, jeez. They make all those gummy candies and shit, dude?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they make all that shit there, man. And it's that factory is geared around field trips, you know what I mean, for schools. It's really geared towards kids. And but if you're ever in the Fairfield area, it's I believe it's free. It's either free or it's really cheap to go do. But it's a cool little thing. I mean, it's a fucking candy factory, right? I mean, who doesn't like that?
Pocket Salson just even let us know. Apparently that Charleston chew, while it was shipping it, ended up in the frozen section of a reefer trailer or whatever. Trucking company moved it. All right, man. Now we're on talking about candy bars. We've gone through the tabs. We've gotten the giveaway out there into the world. We let these rascals get on with their evening and enjoy their lives outside of toys.
I should probably say that. PK Mates, I did say a jelly rat. Look it up. It's a real thing. Mr. Ordinary, thank you everybody for coming in tonight. It was a really, really fun show. Tune in next week to try to win some of this loot. We'll probably have a shitload of posts coming up this next week, I have a feeling. Good to see you, Crumbs, as usual. Thank you for sticking it out tonight, man. It's always good to see you on Thursdays.
Likewise, man. Likewise. Absolutely. I love coming in here on Thursdays, man. It's always a treat.
For sure.
Everybody have a great rest of the evening, man. And thank you for
you too, buddy.